Hey everyone, this is Carrie Stevens, and I am here to conquer the Shout It Out Loudcast. That's right, Tom and Zeus are in big trouble. Bend over, boys. Carrie's taking over.
Oh boy, here we go. This is Gene Simmons.
Put that cookie down.
KISS.
Stop pressing the button.
Stockbroker Simmons.
Star?
Paul Stanley.
Is that what he does? Stop shouting.
My name is Ace Riley.
He's not what you would call a handsome man.
Oh no, here come the KISS times.
Is that a positive thing? Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why? Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them.
That's wrong. What are you talking about? 617-525-0. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like KISS? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, KISS Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 198. KISS Kruise XI band Extravaganza.
It's a big one, baby. Yes.
Super size edition.
Super
duper fresh.
This is a big one. Woo! We're excited about this one. Yeah, this is good. This is good.
As Tom said to me before we got on the air, this is like a full-time job.
We have been now it's a nice problem. It's a nice problem to have. Yes. Well, if you want to call it a problem. But we set up these 4 band interviews, one on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, one on Monday, 1 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday. Now we're on Thursday recording like the wraparound session. But hey, it's good. It's good stuff.
All for you, the fan.
Yes.
Yeah. And not only that, we did one in L.A., one in the Carolinas,
one in Australia, Where were the girls from Plush?
They
were, it was Arizona, New York, and Maine.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all over the place.
We spanned the globe.
That's right. We do it all. The fan is always correct.
Yeah. See, we're the opposite of the KISS Cruise. We give you more for less.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm sorry. That was a joke. Don't flip out.
All right. Well, before we go forwards, we go back. And yes, this is the month of the KISS Cruise, because last week we did KISS Cruise Part 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, the cruise is a big event. We got to dedicate some time to it.
Yeah, and it's always a lot of fun. Those stories are fun.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we always got to give a shout out to our sponsor. And tax season is almost here. End of the year time. Get your shit in order, and you get yourself the best accountant you're going to find. And he's a friend of the show, and that is AB CPA Inc. Hey, Loudcasters, AB CPA Inc. is an accountant firm located in the suburbs of Chicago that can assist you with all your accounting and tax needs. For businesses, they offer bookkeeping, financial statements, payroll processing, payroll tax returns, sales tax returns, filing federal and state income tax returns, and help with starting your own business. For individuals, they offer help with sole proprietorships, rental real estate, trust and estate tax returns, and filing personal federal and state income tax returns. They have access to all 50 states. So whether you live in South Carolina, like L.A. maybe, or Maine, like some of the bands from Plush, AB CPA Inc. can prepare an e-file on your behalf. Did you know, KISS Army, if you own a business, I like owning businesses, with employees and have a 20% reduction of revenue than you did in 2019 due to COVID or state mandated shutdowns, you might be entitled to additional tax credits. Follow them on Facebook, LinkedIn, and visit their website, abcpainc.com. That's abcpainc.com, or email Tony Barone, who's been doing this for over 30 years, at tony@abcpainc.com. That's tony@abcpainc.com, or call them at 708-430-5700. 3232. Again, 708-430-3232.
Yeah, ABCPA Inc.
And don't forget, they have their, I think, new associate joining the firm.
Oh, that's right.
Tax attorney Paul Fraley here.
Give me a dime, save some time.
I'll save you some money. Those dirty socks are a write-off.
We got some good Paul Freely stories. Oh, man.
This episode is full of them.
Oh, God.
And please wait till the end.
Oh, yes. Please wait to the very end. Yes.
You might.
I told you, these episodes are like Marvel movies. There's end credit scenes. You can't leave.
Yeah, you got to watch them.
You got to watch to
They
the
don't
end.
happen every time, but when they do, they're usually worth it.
That's right.
Tom, we did a poll last week. What was the poll and how did it turn out?
Yep. So we asked the question, which of these songs that Kiss played on the cruise should be added to the End of the Road tour? So we threw in 4 of our favorites that aren't on the End of the Road tour right now and wanted you guys to pick. So it was Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, Take Me, Come On and Love Me, and King of the Nighttime World. No real surprise. Come On and Love Me takes it at 36%. Then we had King of the Nighttime World in second place at 25. Take Me 23. Love 'Em, Leave 'Em 16%. So kind of a little bit even across the board. I mean, you get Love 'Em, Leave 'Em kind of trailing there, but Come On and Love Me there. People love that song. It's not a surprise. I don't know why the hell it's not on the goddamn set list there. All 4 of those. I mean, I know Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, and is people aren't enamored with that one. We love it, but and then we got some episode comments here. People love these recaps. Our buddy John Schaefer. It sounds like Gene got more use out of that robe. Week 1, we had that same raw wind on the 4th day. Yeah, because he was on week 1. Amber at Crochet Nose. Okay, wow. Future sponsor, maybe, for the business of yours, Amber. Just listening to the latest episode. Please do an episode in your Ace voices.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Okay. Then we got a guy here by the name of Jazz Slob to be 21. I need to hear Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, Love Gun, and Rock and Roll Night at a Kiss show. In an intimate venue like the Cruise, it makes it even more special. No, but that's okay. Twisted Kister Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Hearing and saying that line will never get old to me. Hope Jeff Trott and the other me had a great time. and then our buddy Tom Dust, who does our fantastic music for our Dorm Damage podcast, he goes, it was him or his twin. And then he posts a picture of the 2 cops from Phantom of the Park.
Oh, it was him.
He goes, Twisted Kister's brother was an only child. Then we got, all right, Dr. 2. This is a great one. Just getting my ingredient. So he posts a picture. It's a picture of tomatoes and sliced oranges. I'm just getting my ingredients together to make Paul's special spaghetti sauce. Thinking about adding some mayonnaise and ginger ale to balance out the flavors. Oh, God almighty. Our buddy Mike from Mike's Record Collection Pod. We were on his show talking about Love Gun. Mike's a great guy. Great show. Love Part 1, as always, jealous of those who went, especially since Plush was on this one. Yes, Plush was great, and you'll hear from them later. MD, because I'm stupid, I Googled orange juice pasta sauce and found actual recipes. As a full-blooded Italian, I feel violated just knowing that this is a thing that exists. Oh, you should feel violated. All right, that's Twitter. What do you got on the Book of Face?
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Extravaganza. It's a big word. I don't even know how to say it.
Jeff Kinsley, Michelle and I were listening to it on Drive Up the Captain. Brought back some amazing memories and lots of laughs. Those 2 are awesome, by the way.
Yeah, Jeff and Michelle. Awesome. Love those guys.
Yep. Our buddy Brad Rustoven. Oh, my God. That Ace Frehley camp counselor bit had me on the floor. Please make it an ongoing segment. All right, kid, here's your first lesson. Don't carry shit into the gig. Let somebody else do it for you.
Kids, come with me. We're going to learn how to build a fire. Got to rub 2 sticks together. Go find it for me, please. I'm doing the best I can.
Wait, here's how we come up with the name for an instrumental. I think Genghis Khan has already been taken. How about Romulus and Remus?
See that, kid? That's a raft, but it's not Gene's uncle like the song.
Ryan, Michael, Spencer, Cook, Tweed, Cronin, Dole, Simmons, Kulick, Lane. It would be so fun choosing a deep cut set list for hardcore KISS fan base. There's so many songs to choose from. Do they really not want to take the time or thought behind it? It's a shame. Thank you guys for taking the time to document and share the cruise experience. Once again, great episodes.
Thanks, buddy.
Shane Bootcrafter. You guys are awesome. #1 KISS podcast on the internet. Keep it up.
Wait, on the internet? Oh, okay. So there's a qualifier there. I'm just fucking with you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Doug Bentley, better known as Montreal Doug. He put a bunch of stuff on that he's seen shows and, from 79, 90, 99, 2000. And I think he's trying to state that, it's not the same old set list. I've heard there was, 174 songs during that time period.
I think he's trying to say that the set list isn't as bad as we make it out to be, but that's okay. We met Doug on the cruise. Great guy. If he enjoyed it, that's God bless him. That's okay.
Yeah, but he says KISS performed 56 different songs during their time. Yeah, 79, 90, 99, 2000, 2019. Okay, great. Now do the last 20 years.
Right.
And tell me there's more than 30.
Right.
Okay. So I'm sorry, for the amount of money we paid, they should be playing. And I know he's not alone that say, well, if I'm going to see an intimate KISS show, I want to hear Detroit Rock City, Love Gun, and Shout Out Loud. You're in the minority on that, buddy. We don't. That's why the kind of cruise was sold as. You, the diehards, are going to hear the shit
because
that's wish you could hear. But now, because Paul's argument has always been like, oh, that's when the people don't know those songs, they leave. Nah. Tom, the other day I saw something where it was like the convention video. Somebody had posted it somewhere. The convention video with them doing Mr. Speed.
Yeah, I was at that. Now, in the Boston convention in 95.
So now, think of it this way. The convention, right?
Yep.
KISS wasn't as big as they are now.
Yep.
That was still the non-makeup era.
Yep.
They were doing some of these, they're doing convention places, right?
Yeah. They were floundering. They were kind of in limbo. Okay.
Paul stopped half the song because the crowd was singing all the words to Mr. Speed.
Yep.
From the 90s.
Yeah.
You're telling me that your fucking fan base wouldn't want to hear this shit.
Well, here's the thing that's more frustrating for me about the cruise set list. And I know, and just to clarify, Shout It Out Loudcast podcast and our social media, you are allowed to talk about the set list. So just to let you know, I know that there's some people out there where you can't talk about the set list.
Oh, no, you're a whining fan.
Yeah, feel free to jump on board our Loudcasters page, group, all that stuff, because we talk about everything.
Yeah, you're allowed to like a band and not be 100% positive about a band.
Correct.
The fucking audacity to think that, well, you're just a bitch and you can't bitch. You know what? Oh, I got an idea. What song do you want to hear? Well, it's not the song I want to hear. I don't give a shit. Replace something. Show me that you care. So if they replaced and put Take Me in there, which I would probably say I would want to hear 50 more songs before I heard Take Me, I still would applaud them that they took something out and put something in. At least they're doing something. It doesn't have to be. No one's making the argument, well, it has to be what I want. You're saying just give us something different.
Right. My problem, we talked about this last week. My problem is that the cruise has devolved into the end of the road because go back and look at those first few cruise set lists. They're playing the Oath. They're playing like Rock Bottom. They're playing like shit that you would never hear. And that's what people wanted from the cruise.
Now it's KISS Cruise. Autographs.
That too. Yeah. I'm just talking music being played. So if the first cruise was like, we're going to play this and you might hear one or two songs special, fine. But it was always deep cuts. It was always unique and creative set list. Now it's back to end of the road with Take Me. That's why people are bitching. That's why.
Yeah. Now you're down to 2 songs. So
anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's where we're coming from. And again, Tom is absolutely correct. You want to fucking talk about shit? You can. You want to say, I like the set list? You can. You're free to say what you fucking want. We're not fighting with you, our listeners, about what you want to hear.
No.
Yeah.
You guys talk about whatever you want. No one's going to throw you out of a group or ban you from a page because you say something, you have an opinion. For Christ's sake, we let Sink and Stanley post his dumb shit too.
Yeah. And, we're not going to put up a fucking stupid, show us where it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Jesus. Talk about it's the opposite. You're showing that you're sensitive. Yeah. Like you can't have a discussion.
Right.
Over on Loudcasters. Adam Stevenson says that I am Zeus is such a slave to the grind. Okay.
Oh, Skid Row.
Yeah. Brad Baird says another great episode. Like y'all said, just do less and less. It's what they do, and the fans, for the most part, accept it. Yeah, we do.
we're guilty. We went on it.
Yeah,
2 years in a row,
and we're willing to do it again.
Exactly.
Dan Holler, Houston. The airport stuff was the highlight. I grew up overseas because of my dad's jobs. Whenever I get super pissed about how slow airport or TSA, I just remember the time we were in Ayanapa, Cyprus, and the terminal had a chalkboard for departures and arrivals, and some guys tried to take a duck on a plane.
Jesus.
3-point plan. We talked about it on Twitter again. Fix the fucking airline travel, fix the pricing on hotels, and fix fucking Ticketmaster.
Well, especially now, Ticketmaster's in the forefront because the whole fucking Taylor Swift debacle. Fuck those people.
What? She's the type that'll fucking, her fans and all that, things will happen. Because every politician wants that Taylor Swift fan base. Yeah. And if they can fix that for her, fuck them.
Dude, don't fuck with the Swifties. They'll come after you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And on an Italian note here, Tom.
Uh-oh.
Jack Pinocchio. Orange fucking juice in sauce. I'll never, ever want to eat Paul's food after hearing that. My reaction to that, he puts the photo of Al Pacino as Michael Corleone.
Oh, with that face.
When his wife tells him she aborted his son.
Greatest face in the history of film.
Dude, when you talk about acting,
greatest
with your eyes,
no one does it better than him.
In the scene where he comes in when he's about to get testified against you, and he walks in with Frankie Pantangeli's brother, and he's just getting, he's getting patted down, and his eyes are just through the screen. You can just see him piercing.
Yep.
And he's like,
so good. So good. So good.
Godfather 2.
Yep.
Over on our Instagram, Gabbly DeGook. Yay. Can't wait to listen. Comment really doesn't deserve that much to be read, but I just love saying her name. I'm addicted to it.
Okay.
Gabbly DeGook. Over on YouTube. Miss you.
Excuse me.
What, did you just fart?
No, I just burped. Fuck it. Don't edit that out.
Was that like that fucking governor? That little old lady governor?
Oh, dude, that looked like special effects or something.
We're getting a slight increase in the number of doses that we'll be getting to the state.
That is a hearty fucking burp.
It was like that guy that on the YouTube video, the violent burp guy.
People are like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Mr. Antonio 2005. If I was given a choice between listening to Burn Bitch Burn for 24 hours straight or eating Paul's pasta with orange juice, I would listen to Uncle Gene. Also, I like 12 Gracious Melodies comment. A possible future ARC episode? I hope so. Well, you're in our Patreon group. Please make sure you vote for it.
Yeah.
Marty White wants to offer Ace a Mellow Yellow and a slice for his camp.
Oh, God.
Only because time is of the essence, buddy. Matt Weller's dick says, this KISS cast is awesome.
Jesus.
Mark Stewart says the only reason that Ace plays old KISS songs is because he wants to prove to Gene and Paul that he can still play them. Why? I don't know, because I don't want Ace back in KISS. He's doing fine without him. Well, if you've seen him lately, Mark, you will realize his band is playing those songs, and he's up there, hitting a chord and two here and there.
Yeah, it ain't working.
Yeah. And then FM Big Hair writes, what the fuck is air cunnilingus? You can only see the video of fucking Alan walking around with that's air cunnilingus.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, that's what I got.
All right, let's bang out some emails and get going here. Our buddy, America's favorite realtor, Joey Romanek. I love the cruise recap over the last 2 weeks. Some observations. Have any of the karaoke singers ever heard the songs that they're singing? My God, horrendous. And based on the photos that I've seen of the people on that boat, I'm wondering if all the girls that the guys from Sisters Doll were hanging out with were old enough to be their mothers.
Definitely.
Maybe next year I'll go. Yeah, Joey, do it.
I'll tell you, those guys had chicks all over them.
Yeah. They are what you would call handsome men. Our buddy Johnny G, and he puts in parentheses, Ace voice. I would like to send out an invitation to all rock fans to attend my first and probably last rock and roll fantasy camp. Yes, you too can be rocking with the boys. Included in the fee, luxury accommodations at the Bronx YMCA, 24-hour gourmet buffet featuring the McRib, filet of fish, and pizza Regina with a variety of fountain cola. I will critique you on your playing skills just like that ass Bob Ezrin did to me and my buddy Peter. I will sit down with you and teach you how to rhyme words together while songwriting, like in my masterpiece, Ozone. Kinda guy, not too shy, feeling high. Want you to be mine? Really? Also included in the $8,500 Rockstar package will be your own Space Ace astronaut diaper. You're going to need it because none of the rooms at the Y have a bathroom. Believe me, these are of the highest quality. I can wear one for at least 3 days until I need my new bride to change it for me. Thanks, babe. Dude, the creativity of our listeners is just unparalleled. Got to love him. That's fantastic. Then we got a message from our buddy, longtime fan, Patreon supporter, our buddy Jim Riley. He comments to us through our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. Here is to the commitment from Tom and Zeus delivering 2 parts from the KISS Cruise for us, the fans and friends. What's up, Tony and Tracy? By the way, cell phone holster boy on the plane was lucky he didn't get his ass whipped SIOL style. P.S. Join Patreon. We are having a blast, says Jim Riley. Awesome. Love it.
Jim, you're the best.
Absolutely. We love him. And then our buddy Adam Stevenson sent a very nice long email. Hard to believe a year has already passed since the first time I wrote into your podcast. I was driving back from a wedding, listening to part 2 recap, in tears, hearing Zeus rip through the classic Ace line, "It's not your place." That's right, a year ago. And then he sends us some really kind words about the show, some cruise observations. We love Adam. Anyways, boys, keep up the great work. Until next time, Adam. He's got a great show himself. If you're really a metalhead, the Metal Oasis. Check out his stuff. Great stuff there. And we're going to wrap up comments with something special and different this time, because our comment that I'm going to read here comes from our Patreon page. And this comment comes from our lovely friend and cabin mate, Tracy Selt. She says to us, I listened to the recaps of the cruise and I laughed all over again. What great times. It was my first KISS cruise, and I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed rooming and hanging with you two and Tony from Restrained. Regardless of how people view the band KISS, the band is what brought me to you two, Tony, Jeff and Michelle, and the countless others I met on the cruise and Creatures Fest. Yes, I love seeing the bands play, but I love even more the community that is formed around these events. We are united in our love for these bands and the music, but just like relatives you have and love, you have to be real about who they are and what they do. You can still love them, but are also able to call it the BS, much like the bathroom by the buffet on the boat. I love you fuckos, Tracy. Tracy, we can't say enough about you as a supporter of the show, as a friend of the show, as a friend in general, and as a cabin mate that helped make our cruise experience wonderful. Tracy, you're the best. We love you, and you are our first ever Patreon comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
I don't know what to say. Tracy is the fucking bomb. She made this trip even better than we expected.
Yep.
Fucking a blast with you, Trace. And thank you for jumping on board, and much appreciated and love out to you and the fam.
And I hope she doesn't mind that we just read that on the show. So,
and if she does, fuck her.
Because why? Fuck them. But we love Tracy. And speaking of Patreon.
Yeah, speaking of Patreon. Patreon. We have grown again. So a special shout out again for Tracy, who is a Demon Tier Patreon member.
Boom.
I think I counted, Tom, 5 or 6 Patreon members on the cruise.
Yeah.
And we can't thank those members enough. We say it all the time because we mean it. And we want them to know and feel appreciated, because we appreciate them. They're such a big part of the show, all the way from Catman, the Spaceman, the Star Child, and the Demon Tier members. Every one of you is a vital part of our Patreon family. We have a couple things in store still before the end of the year. We appreciate all the support and love we get from you guys. If anybody else, again, I say this all the time, if anybody wants to know the number one way to support the show, that's Patreon. You go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. It's right at the top. There's a Patreon button. You press that button. It takes you to our Patreon page. Read all about what it means if you want to help out the show, how to help out the show. What do you get in return for helping out the show? It's all there. But more importantly, the thing is, it's a family. We all have our own little clique, our own little catchphrases, our own little community, and it's constantly growing. It's at its highest peak at this moment. Be the next one to bring us to the highest. Keep breaking our record of members, and we can't thank you enough. Those that have joined, thank you. You have helped this show grow tremendously, and our show is growing tremendously. These last 2 episodes, these KISS Kruise recaps, and I think this one as well, has just continued to grow our little KISS show, done by 2 I don't know, KISS tards in. Oh, am I allowed to say that, Tom?
We'll get into that in a minute.
From Boston, to grow this into the number 1 KISS podcast out there. And we don't say it often, but it's true. And you guys are the reason we stay the number 1 KISS podcast. We don't have friendships with the band. We don't, we're not musicians. We weren't former podcasters doing something else. This has been built from the ground up with people from Patreon, with loudcasters that follow us on social media. You, all of you, have helped grow this show where it's at. You have no idea what it was like to be on the cruise, again, from last year, just even from last year to this year. Mm-hmm. How many people stopped us to talk to us about it? And usually it's like one of those things where, Tom, they would say to us, like, yeah, no, I love the band, but I love when you guys say shit like,
oh yeah,
and tell the truth.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. Yeah, there are people that love to do their footy pajama KISS stuff, and everything is perfect. Oh yeah, play Love Gun all day long. I'll hear that all, the whole time, this whole cruise. People love that shit. God bless them. Have fun. This, we tell it like it is. And you guys have seemed to enjoyed it and continue to support us. The Patreon family is the number 1 reason why like that we keep being able to come back and put more content out there, bigger and better things, because of the help we get from Patreon. So if you want to help us out, you want us to keep growing, please take a look at our Patreon membership. See if that interests you. Come join the fun and be part of the best fucking community out there. And thank you to all those that have helped make us the #1 KISS podcast. Thanks.
Tracy, you're the best. We love you. Thank you for making the week so much fun. And just thank you so much for jumping onto Patreon. Demon Tier, thank you to all the Patreons. You guys are the best. And I'm just going to echo what Zeus says. You guys have helped build the show. Tom and Zeus may be the hosts of the show, but it's everybody's show. And we love you guys. And thank you for everything that you've done.
Tom, from here, we go on to KISS World. What's going on there?
Okay, so they did finally announce official dates for 2023. They announced 5 dates in Germany from June 17th to June 2nd. I also saw something today that there were some dates in Mexico, but that's not on the official KISS page. The only thing that's official on the kissonline.com is the German date. So they're starting to get back in there, and I'm sure we'll see those dates sooner than later for other places around the world, including the U.S. Also, by the time you guys hear this, the Creatures of the Night Super Terrific Happy Fun Hour Deluxe box set will have been released. I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy picking through that. And we've posted the interesting price fluctuations on Amazon.
Yeah, since we posted that, it went up again. Another, I think, 30, 40, 50 bucks. It's back. It's almost at regular price.
It's almost, yep. You posted it when it was like 175 or something. It's now, the last I saw was like 289.
Yeah. What happened? I want more money.
I saw these guys posting stuff on Twitter about a low price. Fix that. That's what happened.
By the way, I guess my thing had been delivered. I just got it. It said from Walmart, my little KISS Alive 2 Funko set.
Yes, I got mine too.
Apparently, the people in Canada and other places can't get them.
Which is, I don't understand. Walmart's, that's weird, but that thing is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I also got the Metallica Master of Puppets one too, which is pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's
pretty
nice.
Cool. Another big thing in the news that actually dropped today on Thursday the 17th, Joe Lynn Turner decides to throw bombs at KISS, specifically Paul Stanley. He was doing an interview with Metal Castle. I don't know anything about Metal Castle. But he starts talking about bands using backing tracks. And then he says, quote, I understand there's a technology that certain bands use today. But if you're KISS, for example, maybe you ought to quit while you're ahead, guys. Don't you think you've got enough money to where you don't need to take all the static for what you're doing? All it's doing is destroying your legacy, and you'd probably be better off if you just stopped. I'm not trying to point them out individually, but they've been known to use it. Ouch. Dude,
I loved myself some Jolene Turner.
What?
He's out of line.
What prompted that? Oh,
yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, can't wait till his name gets brought up to Paul sometime soon.
Oh.
He's just a wannabe.
Yeah. Two very sensitive people.
Yeah.
And another thing that happened, Shannon posted some pictures, and then Gene jumped in and told everybody that he's okay. Gene had some kidney stone problems. Poor Gene, but Gene's got a great sense of humor, told everybody that he's fine. Shannon likes to have some fun and took pictures of his hospital slippers or whatever the hell they were.
Isn't Gene just lovable at this
He
stage?
is. He's awesome. He just has a fun time with everything. Yeah.
He's just fucking cool.
Yeah. And one more thing that's not really KISS related, but more Shout It Out Loudcast related. We'll kind of wrap up news and stuff with this. It's been brought to our attention by some loudcasters and fans and listeners out there that some of the things that we talk about on this show have been the topic of other shows. In particular, a choice word that has become a hot topic on this show. Look, I'm not talking about this word anymore. Kisstard is the word. Okay. If it upsets you, fine. If you don't want to listen to us anymore, fine. If you feel the need to talk about the word, fine. I don't care. You can talk about it on our Twitter, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our YouTube, You could post videos if you singing a song using the word in a sentence. None of us care. There are people out there that took it upon themselves to say that that word is not welcome in their community. And I don't care. That's fine. No one asked. So do what you want with it. But I really, really don't want to have to get into this anymore. We have stated our case. That's it. Use it, hate it, love it, curse it. I don't care.
Yeah, we had so many. We had band members that performed use it.
Yeah, we won't say their names, but
Yeah,
in conversation, they were saying it. So
yeah, because it's all meant in jest. It's not mocking anybody. So stop.
What are you
with
talking
your
about?
fucking,
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's the root word, Zeus? Don't you know what you're saying?
Oh,
You're making. Don't you know what you're saying?
Just stop looking to be a victim, okay? Yep. Stop it. You have your own agenda. Do it. Take care of yourself. You don't like that, it gets said on this show, then don't fucking listen.
Yep.
Okay?
And don't say it. No offense. Nobody asked if that word can be used on your platform. So to make a preemptive statement saying that it's not welcome in a certain place, no one cares.
Yeah. Most people that use that word are referring to themselves.
Yes. We refer to it as ourselves.
And how many other people have Star Wars tard or fucking wrestling tard? Like it's all the same. It's fucking meant to be in jest. Somebody that's a fucking fanboy over the top extreme. It's not about your mental abilities. It's just fucking ridiculous.
If you want to be offended by it, you'll find a way to be offended by it. Go for it. God bless. Just leave us out of it.
Fucking babies. Anyway, let's get to the most important part.
Yes.
And that is these young bands. But before we do, let me take another photo of my feet on a dashboard with my brand new socks that I got from Rachel as a parting gift.
All right, we're back. I was just trying to see if I could collect those kidney stones from Gene and sell them on eBay because I know somebody will pay a pretty penny for those.
Oh, absolutely they will.
Yeah, make a necklace out of them. Anyways.
Yeah, so Tom, we thought of, we were so impressed with some of the acts that we saw, non-KISS acts on the cruise. And we're like, you know what? Let's talk to these guys. I bet these guys will have a good story. And it went from 1 to 2. We're like, let's put a wish list together. Let's see how many we can get of these 4. Well, they know the number 1 KISS podcast out there, and all 4 of them said yes. So
unbelievable.
Then became the logistics of getting this thing done. And then came all these interviews. We're like, yeah, we'll just do like 10, 15 minutes for each.
Nope.
And then it's like 45 minutes later. I'm like, I'm not fucking editing this. No way.
It's too good. The interviews were too good. They were too much fun.
We'll just go shorter on the next one.
Nope.
45 minutes later, you're like, fuck. So when we get these super deluxe edition of Shout It Out Loudcast, we get it. You got a 15-minute commute. You're not going to hear it all. Break it up. You don't have to eat it. Put the sub away. Eat half of it now. Eat the rest for dinner.
Exactly.
I just talk about eating the sub.
Save some of it.
Dinner time.
Save some of it for your commute to grandma's house back and forth to Thanksgiving. It's although unless you have kids in the car, then don't do that. But we were so excited for all these bands: Black Sabbitch, Plush, Sisters Doll, L.A. maybe. We threw it out there. They were gracious enough to get back to us. Magically, the logistics worked out. We were able to get them all in, and we said, you know what? It's a super deluxe, happy, fun hour extravaganza episode. We talk about the bands themselves. We talk about their cruise experience. We talk KISS and KISS stories. Then we started talking about what we talked about on our recent Dorm Damage episode. We started getting into streaming discussions, music, the business set. It was just an amazing, fun, and awesome time. And we hope you guys have a blast with it because we sure as shit did.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going to tell you about how it went and all that stuff. I want you guys to listen, and then we'll wrap up the conversation. We're not going to jump in after each episode, but Tom does the introduction for each time the new band comes on. So we're going to start in this order: Black Sabbitch, Plush, Sisters Doll, L.A. Maybe. We're going to go right through them all, and then we'll catch you guys at the end. And when we come back, here they are.
All right, tonight we have very special guests. You heard us talking about them on our KISS Cruise recaps. They absolutely blew up the stage on the cruise. We have Angie, Melanie, Emily, and Alice all here together tonight from Black Sabbitch, one of the most incredible Sabbath cover bands you'll ever see. They're all here. Guys, welcome to Shout It Out Loudcast. Thank you so much for being here. All together, too. This is awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we appreciate it because I know it wasn't easy getting everybody together. So thank you for that. And we're going to get right into it because we want to get as much time with you guys as we can. So we always ask these questions of everybody. They're called Murph questions. I'm going to ask you a few KISS questions. If they apply to you, great. If they don't, who gives a shit? No problem.
Yeah, and don't hold back. If somebody is not a KISS fan or doesn't like anybody, just tell us because that's the kind of show.
Yeah,
we shit on the band too, so don't worry about it.
I met Paul Stanley. He was an asshole. We love that shit.
Oh, yeah. Tell us that if that was really true, by the way.
All right.
Oh,
So-
Angie's kind of.
Yeah, Jesus. We already started.
This is going to be rough.
Let's start. I'm looking at my camera view here. I got Emily, then Angie, then Alice, and then Melanie. So start with Emily. Favorite KISS member?
Paul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Angie.
I gotta go, Paul.
Ace for sure. Ace. Ace
Okay.
because he's got that New York Dolls kind of, swaggery kind of crazy thing.
That's because he's drunk. He can't stand
Yeah,
up.
for
right.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
He didn't practice as much on his boots.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to practice.
I don't know how to fucking practice this guitar.
Oh, nice. A new Ace impression.
We love
I'm
it.
from Queens, so it's
Oh,
easy for me.
oh,
Well,
awesome.
I'm from the Bronx. That's why they call me Bronx boy. Alice.
I don't have an answer.
Perfect.
Do you have a least favorite? Like, I fucking hate this guy.
Alice is
I'm
Vinnie Vincent.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Vincent Casano, that's okay. You can like him if you want. That's fine. Do you have a least favorite? Like, I just fucking hate this guy.
No, don't make her say that.
Well, I don't know.
No. Here's the thing: is like I'm like a new KISS fan. Like
Okay.
I just heard this band called KISS. You guys,
I'm in a Black Sabbath cover band, but I've never heard of KISS. Yeah, that's okay.
no, I'm joking. I just didn't unlike everybody else I know. I just didn't grow up listening to them. So
Okay, that's cool.
like,
Do you have an image, like a fate, like I like this makeup better, so therefore I like this character better or something. Anything
I like the
that?
guy that spits blood better.
Or I like the star guy,
the star guy?
Can I interject and say
It's
that
the cat.
I was very
It's the cat face.
disappointed that no one on the cruise had the Ankh makeup going on
I
Halloween.
know.
They did, but they got thrown off.
Yeah.
Paul went around and was like, get this guy off the boat.
I thought for sure there was going to be a few. There was none.
I don't know if anybody had the balls to do that, but that would have been pretty awesome if they did.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave you alone, Alice. We'll move on. Melanie, you got anybody?
I will say Peter because he's the cat.
All
And I'm
right. That's Zeus's boy.
That's
Oh, nice.
my
There you go.
guy.
Yep.
I'm gonna maybe it's time to let my kittens come in here. Baby, like this big.
Oh,
Yeah, so
please.
Oh
We
yeah.
want to see
See?
kittens.
Oh yeah.
We
So
want kittens.
yeah, that's all good. Next is, do you guys have a favorite KISS song? Emily.
I have many, but I'm going to say Come On and Love Me. because,
Yes, that is the correct.
The lyrics on that song are like the greatest rock lyrics, of not just KISS, they're freaking awesome.
What?
So that's
Really?
what I'm going to say.
Emily, that is the correct answer. Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Tom
That's
Tom calls it poetry,
Oh,
It
my
is
goodness.
good.
It's amazing.
dancer,
Good
romancer.
looking. You're looking
Yes.
like you should be good.
All right.
Yes. It's amazing.
Angie, I got a feeling it's coming off Destroyer.
I think my favorite KISS song is "I Want You." That's my favorite
Wow.
KISS song.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
And
both
then-
got to hear those songs on.
Yeah, and they played it at the indoor show the first night, and I turned to all these guys like, "This is my favorite KISS song."
Yeah, that's the show we were at too. Yeah, and they played "Come On and Love Me," and I was fired up for that too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Alice is like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't like any of their songs.
Let's do things a little differently. I'm going to direct this. Why don't you give me multiple choice?
Multiple choice.
Okay. Rock and Roll All Night, Detroit Rock City, Love Gun, or what's another? I Love It Loud.
Beth.
Or Beth.
What was the third one? Love Gun?
Love Gun, Detroit Rock City, Rock and All Night, or Beth.
Oh, they're all so good. I'm going to say Love Gun.
There you go.
I'll take it. Perfect.
All right. Melanie, you're up.
Well, I'm going to say Beth because Angie told me on the cruise that Beth was about Peter's cat. Is that
Dog?
Dog.
No.
About anybody's dog.
That is so not true.
I
But
mean,
you can
it's
still
not even-
like you can still like the song though. That's cool.
It's actually written by the band he was in before Kiss, right?
Yeah, it was a bandmate of his in a previous band wrote it about his wife named Becky, and he called it Beck. And then Gene loves to tell the stupid story about it sounds like you're playing for the other team. What is this Beck shit? Change it to Beth.
Yeah. Gene's like Gene said people are going to think you're singing about Jeff Beck. We can't have you singing a song about a guy.
Where does the story about it being about someone's dog come from? You never heard that story?
I think you made that up, Angie.
No, absolutely not. Somebody in the Kiss world told me that story.
The son of Sam. I have no idea.
Yeah.
The son of Sam.
He didn't like dogs.
I think it was Peter Criss who told me that story.
Could have been.
Peter told you?
Yeah.
How fucking coked up was he that he told you that Beth was about a dog?
When I knew Peter, he was pretty sober. Ace, on the other hand, was not.
Well, there's breaking news.
Save it.
Yeah,
we got to get to it. All right. So the next one is pretty easy. Emily, favorite album?
I mean, I don't think that's an easy question, but I'm going to go Dress to Kill just because it has my favorite song and many, many others on that album. That's
nice.
You're getting bonus points for originality.
Yes, you are. Because almost every guest that we have, 99% of them say Rock and Roll Over. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
by
that.
By far. And we're talking all through the gamut. So, Angie.
Fucking Destroyer.
There you go. And for those who can't see, she is pointing to her official A Coin Destroyer poster signed by all 4 original members in a frame. Yep.
Right behind me.
Incredible.
Yeah, when we put an image up of all like who we had as guests on, we're definitely going to have that of you pointing to that.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Should we give you a multiple choice, Alice?
No, I think that Angie's answer was good enough that I can be exempt from this one.
Okay.
Good. I'm a Destroyer fan. It's one of those things of an album of a band that everybody likes so much that now it becomes like anti-cool. Like, oh, everybody picks Destroyer, so it's not that cool anymore.
I think it was just the first one I heard, so it was.
Yeah, there you go.
It's that thing. Yeah.
Yep. Nostalgia. Melanie.
I'm going to answer for Melanie because she's on a theme. I'm going to say Animalized.
Yeah.
Are you really picking Animalize?
Yes.
She doesn't know.
She read my mind.
That's okay. I love that album.
She really likes.
I think somebody else is taking. Yeah. Oh no. We don't want that album. No.
Talk about points for originality, Melanie. You may have been the first to ever pick Animalize.
No, I think there was somebody else that picked it too. Believe it or not.
Now ask her to name one song off of the record.
She knows. Now I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck's on that? Heaven's on Fire. You know that song.
That's all
there you go.
That's the only one.
She's like, what? What's that song?
Taking you higher.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So Emily, how many Kiss concerts have you ever been to?
I have been to, well, not counting the cruise, I've been to 3 before that. So I saw when they did the first reunion with everybody at Madison Square Garden. And then I saw that a few more times. And then I saw, I think once Tommy came into the picture one time. And then I saw them the 3 times on the cruise.
Nice. All right, Angie.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to tell you the greatest Kiss story of all time while I tell you how many times I've seen them.
The last question I'm going to ask you is your favorite Kiss memory. So this might be both of yours, right?
There you go.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I saw them at some point that I don't really remember when Bruce Kulick and Eric, I guess, were both in the band. Then I saw a bunch of shows on the first reunion tour, including the show at Dodger Stadium where they played for about 100 of us. It was the rehearsal show.
Wow! You saw
I
that?
I saw them play a bunch of times in rehearsal studios because I'll tell you the story. But the best one is when they played for just me in a room about the size of my living room, the 4 original members of the band.
What?
This is a very crazy story, but it's absolutely true.
Okay.
The first time the 4 original members of the band played together electrically, after the unplugged thing where they got back together and they played, the first time the 4 of them played together, even one note, there were 5 people in the room: Gene, Paul, Ace, Peter, and me.
Okay, you got it. You got to tell us how that happened.
Okay. So back in the day, before they did the unplugged thing, that version of KISS would rehearse at the studio that I worked at here in LA, Cole Rehearsal Studios. And at the time, Tommy was actually working for KISS.
Yep.
Right. And after that thing, after the unplugged thing, when everyone thought they were going to get back together, I got a call from Tommy and he said, "Hey, we need to book a room. I can't tell you who it's for." And I was like, "Hey, Tommy, if I think it's cool, I'm going to give you a better rate. So what is it?" And he was like, "You can't say anything to anybody, but KISS is coming in, the real KISS." So over the course of a few weeks, first Peter came, Peter's drums came, and Peter was learning the songs on a boombox with headphones. Then Tommy came with Ace and was teaching Ace his own solos. This is probably stuff you guys probably already know this.
Yeah.
This is gotten out.
Yep.
Then I think Paul came, or Gene. Either Gene or Paul came first, but the other one wasn't there. There was a gym across the street, Gold's Gym. They're kind of famous Hollywood gym where like Fabio and people like that would be working out. And those guys were all working out at the gym. Like, I think that one of the conditions of Ace and Peter rejoining was they had to get in shape.
Yes.
So they would come in like little nylon running shorts and like t-shirts, and they were rehearsing. But first it was just, Ace and Peter with Tommy and like Ed Cannon, who was Peter's drum tech. But at one point, all 4 of them came and they got in the room together. But the PA had no microphones because nobody had been singing. Right. So the 4 of them were in the room. They're tuning up the guitars. I think Spike was the guitar tech at the time. They were all in there. And then somebody came out and they were like, "Can we get some microphones to put in the room?" So I said, sure. I went in the room with the fucking microphones and everybody left. And I put them on the stands and I checked the mics. And I was like, I'm going to fucking stay in here and watch what happens. So I went to the console and pretended I was mixing, which is bullshit. It's a rehearsal studio. There was like, there was just mics on the vocals. Nothing else was mic. But I was standing there and Gene looked at them and said, "Let's play Deuce." And they fucking played Deuce right in front of me. The 4 of them had not played together in whatever that was, 17 years. And I was the only person there.
Damn.
I went outside, I picked up the phone, I started calling my friends, and people started showing up and they were hiding in the storage lockers of the studio, like to listen through the wall of it happening. So, but God's honest truth, and these guys can tell you because they all know I work there, I was the only person there when the 4 of them played together the first time.
That is by far one of the greatest stories we've had on the show.
I think it is.
And we've had some pretty awesome stories. That's some insider shit right there.
Yeah,
Angie.
and then I was there for they rehearsed all of that stuff until they moved to SIR and they went to a couple of bigger studios. Then they came back and they did all the pre-pro for Psycho Circus there. And then they rehearsed for that tour there. All my drum stands that I still use to this day were all Peter's from the reunion tour.
No shit.
When they came back from the reunion tour, Peter gave me a bunch of the stands. Wow. And they still have numbers on them, like 7, because he had like 7 Tom stands,
Wow.
So yeah.
That's a story. That's a friggin' story.
My favorite
right
concert is, of course, that one. The one that they played.
That is an incredible story.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the what was the number? Like 20, 30 times you've probably seen them? I don't know.
Well, I mean, they were playing next to my head for like 6 months.
Right,
like, It was months and months where they were rehearsing. So I heard them over and over and over. And one of my favorites is then they would come from Gold's Gym dressed in, workout clothes, and they would put the boots on so they could rehearse, like not falling down.
All the move. Yeah.
So they'd be like, they come out in the hall, like in like nylon running shorts and a tank top with those fucking boots.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Alice, you got a story like that, right?
No, I saw them for the first time on the KISS Cruise. I saw all 3 shows.
What'd you think?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, of course it's fun. It's awesome. Yeah.
And it's a stripped down show, but
time. Yeah.
So that's your first. Did you get it? Did you guys I don't know. Do you guys interact? Do you guys get a chance to see the artists and everybody on the cruise?
No, not really. I mean, we did our autograph signing and they were sitting across from us. So, I mean, that was like, I could have stood in line. I kind of wanted to, but
we'll get into all the cruise stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. Definitely. Cause we have a ton of questions about your cruise experience too.
Yeah. Did you have any KISS memories growing up or anything like that? Or you just, KISS, they suck. I ain't listening to that shit.
No, I never thought they sucked. It just never came into, I don't know why. I mean, I guess just living in Vermont, being like a hippie kid. I mean,
wow.
That's probably a good reason. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard Ozzy and Sabbath, but somehow like KISS just never came into my circle. I don't.
Yeah.
And they have a real good connection too. Because like Paul and Sharon are like as close as can be. They love each other. And there's a lot of mutual admiration. If you see docs and stuff, it's always like Gene will be bragging about Ozzy and stuff. And Ozzy will always say positive things about KISS. So they always had some good interaction. And we all know Sharon's not the easiest to get along with. So the fact that she likes Paul and Gene is kind of rare. And she's
because Paul's not. It's because Paul's not easy to get along with either. No one of their buddies.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's because they're all business. Those guys are very much all business.
Yeah,
and so is she. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, which is like when I noticed there. I mean, obviously this is nothing that everyone doesn't know, but having been in very close proximity to them for a long period of time, you could see what didn't work was the fact that like Ace was a fucking rock star, and he wanted to act like a rock star,
Yeah.
And Peter less so, but still, like those guys were like still kind of 70s rock stars. And by that time, this was the 90s, like Paul and Ace and Paul and Gene they were like fucking businessmen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they are obviously rock stars, but they were like, they came to work and they went home, and the other guys were like, Ace was showing up like all crazy, like and doing crazy shit. But that's why he's Ace.
Yep.
Lovable Ace.
All right, Melanie. How many concerts and favorite memory, if you have any?
2 concerts.
Okay.
The one outside on the cruise with Mel.
Yes. And the one inside.
The one inside on Halloween with the makeup.
Okay, that's cool.
Super cool. So glad I got to see both.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do have a cool memory. I did go to a wedding last year where Paul's Motown band,
Soul Station, Soul Station,
was the entertainment, and that was
no shit.
Surprise. Yeah, so it was really cool. There's only a couple hundred people at the wedding, and he was really good.
Yeah, that we actually did an episode on that. We reviewed that album when it came out, and Zeus and I. Our music tastes run the gamut of everything. So we went into it with like an open mind, and it was a pleasant surprise. It really was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I like I love the 60s and Motown music and stuff. Yeah. How did it? Because there's that story in the rumor all the time about him in tracks. Did he sound like he was singing live, the best of your knowledge?
I really think so. It really did sound like it to me.
I know they say it's a different voice that he's using when he sings those type of songs versus like the high, like the rock songs he sings for KISS.
Yeah.
There were a decent amount of background singers, though. So,
sure.
Oh, I know he does. And those singers can really sing. Alice, this is more in your department. Use a different voice, right? Singing like Motown stuff, I'm assuming, than
Kiss. Then when you're singing like War Pigs.
You can, I guess.
Well, that's why they think that he can get away with it, because he's using a different, I don't know, tone or whatever he's using. That's why he can hit those Motown stuff, but he struggles when he sings the other Kiss songs live. But I'm curious to hear that. That's great.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard him do that stuff before. I'd like to, though. I love Motown.
He's good at it. I mean, you got to give him credit. He's good at it.
His band is incredible. That backup band that he has,
insane.
They're a pretty talented band.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right, so let's shift gears for a minute. We'll get back into Kiss in a minute, but let's start. Obviously, you guys are Black Sabbitch, the Sabbath band. So, first question: why? And I mean this like in a good way. Why Sabbath? How did you guys all come together and say, let's do Sabbath and let's do it the way that no one has ever done it before? Because I'll tell you right now, I've been on 2 KISS cruises, seen all the bands, and you could ask Zeus, you could listen to our previous recap episodes. You guys were, for me personally, were an absolute highlight of the cruise. Like incredible performances. And I felt bad that you guys were shoved into those tiny little clubs, especially that place over by Magnum's, where like you were about 6 inches from the ceiling. But that's the cruise. But tell everybody, like, Sabbath, one last thing, Tom, I want to jump on that. So I put our poll, and I showed it to Angie. I put our poll, the 4 bands, in sneak peek. The other 3 bands are coming on too on this episode later on. So, but I put all 4 of you guys up. You guys won the poll.
So, nice. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And I could tell you from not just Tom, but me being there, and I saw you guys separately from him. We weren't even together watching you.
Right.
And it's word of mouth. The word of mouth, like you can't. So people that missed your first show were all told, don't miss them again. Yep. You got to go see them. So kudos to you guys. You really impressed everybody. Thank you. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, tell us how 4 women get together and say, let's do Sabbath.
I mean, the short answer is it's my favorite band of all time.
Okay.
And the answer to the second question was, why do it like that, so authentically or whatever, is the same answer.
Okay.
It started with me, and very quickly Melanie was with me before we even played the first show. But I started it with friends of mine, and one by one, we kind of picked them off and replaced them with great, players and singers. And then I was friends with Emily because we had been in a band before. So when we were looking to replace the guitar player, I actually called Emily and was like me and Mel were in a bar, like, what are we going to do? We need to find the best guitar player in the world. And I was like, let me call Emily and see if she knows anybody, thinking full on, Emily's in 5 fucking bands. She can't do this band. And she's like, well, I want to do it. I'm like, great. What are you doing Thursday? And
that's awesome.
And, and I knew from being friends with Emily that she was a massive Sabbath fan, and she has the right hand of God for that, that Tony rhythm sound is in her hand. And then when we found Alice, it was like, it was like finding, a lost sister. Like, she was also an artist, like all the rest of us are. Like, we all had our own bands. We all make original music. And we were looking for someone who wasn't, a cover band singer. We wanted someone who was a Sabbath freak, but who wanted to do this in addition to what she does for her own, creative output. And so, we love fucking Sabbath. And when my edict from the beginning was like, we don't do this unless it's right. Because if I go to see somebody and they play Sabbath songs and they're not right, I'm not happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I really wanted to go see Black Sabbath in the 70s, and I couldn't do it. So I basically invented it so I could see it from behind. Because I'm the drummer, so, everybody in the band, I think, feels the exact same way. I'll let somebody else answer, but I feel like we have ownership of this material. We don't play it like they're covers. We play it like it means something to us, and like these are our songs.
Well, that's the thing.
You know?
And just before somebody else jumps in, so we were at the first show, because when you're on the cruise, everybody's all over the place, splitting up, and trying to keep schedules. And that next morning, the people who weren't at your first show, like Zeus said, I said, guys, you take a look at the schedule. You have to see them because they are nailing every note, every tone. It was an uncanny experience. It really, it was really awesome. I just want to get that out there. I know I'm kind of really gushing, but that's how I am when it comes to bands that impress me. So
no, I super appreciate that. That's awesome. I mean, the whole reason I wanted to play guitar was because I wanted to play like Tony Iommi. So, having an opportunity, all my other bands are kind of in that sound anyway. So having an opportunity to play Black Sabbath live is both challenging and rewarding and super exciting. I mean, we've all seen a million Sabbath cover bands, I'm sure, live, and you leave disappointed.
Yep.
So,
yes.
The idea is like, you don't leave disappointed, and nowadays you're not really going to be able to see Sabbath,
right,
that much longer, and it's kind of changed. And the idea that we can do it kind of as they were when those albums came out is you don't get to see that live now, so we want to bring that to people.
Alice, talk to us about like doing Ozzy, like capturing that energy and that spirit of Ozzy.
Well, Ozzy taught me to sing because I loved rock and roll. My mom is a jazz singer, but I just connected with rock and roll immediately. And the only thing that really I could sing in my key, like I love Bowie, but I can't sing that stuff. So like Ozzy, everything that Ozzy ever sang is it's in the perfect register for me. So I didn't have to change the key. So I could always sing it. And I just always did. Ozzy was my first concert. And then I found Black Sabbath after Ozzy's solo stuff. And so, I've always done original bands, and I always have covered Ozzy songs or Sabbath songs. And when I found out that Black Sabbitch was looking for a singer, I just I had a couple friends point me in the direction, and I was like, maybe.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Melanie,
I saw her. She tagged us on Instagram, and I saw it, and I was like, who's this chick? And I looked at her Instagram and I saw her solo music, and I was like, I told Melanie and Emily, I was like, I don't know, but I think I found this. I think I found the girl that's going to be our singer. I don't even know if she can sing the Sabbath stuff, but I like her. She looks cool. I think she is cool, and thankfully she was fucking cool.
Nice.
The magic of Instagram and social media.
It's true. It's true.
It makes me curious that like how musicians and other artists, they still use it just like podcasters use it.
Yeah. Right.
And that's great that it worked out that way. I'm sorry, Melanie, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, truth be told, Angie called me up and asked me to come and play in this project. And I had very surface level knowledge of Sabbath, to be honest. And and she said, but I had played with Angie in other bands, which we were a great rhythm section. And I really, really loved and valued that relationship and what we did together. So I didn't want to say no, but she was like, you know what, learn War Pigs, because that kind of covers so much of everything. You come in and jam this one song with us, and then you tell me you don't want to do this. And sure enough, it took me like 3 weeks to learn that song. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never fucking going to do it. But sometimes I still do that with some songs, but it takes a minute, to get it right. But man, it really, not only have I completely fallen in love with the band, and done a deep dive, but become a way better player. And I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah.
I love that Mel she's like, it's like, learn how to play bass like Geezer Butler. Oh, no sweat. It took me like 3 weeks. And then
Exactly. Right.
She blows my mind.
No,
Amazing.
Emily, I'm glad you said that because she's like, yeah, I was a surface level Sabbath player. It took me 3 weeks to play War Pigs. I'm like,
okay,
that's like a gift that it only took you 3 weeks to play War Pigs.
She's leaving out two very important parts of the story. One, she's a fucking incredible bass player. And the reason why I begged her to do it with me is that she's my favorite bass player of all time. And we play together like hand in glove, like we're a great rhythm section. And so and she's one of my best friends. So I wanted her to be in the band with me. So she said, I don't know these songs or whatever. What she's forgetting is I invited her over and we sat in this very room and we had a bottle of wine. I got her super drunk and we played and I played War Pigs on the stereo super fucking loud. And then she was like, all right. Yeah. Okay. I think so. And then she went home and spent 3 weeks learning the song.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, of course it took her 3 weeks to learn the song because she had fucking never heard it before.
Right.
She's like, she's the greatest bass player on earth. So,
that's
but
awesome.
like you just heard 3 out of the 4 of us literally said I grew up, I learned how to play drums from day one, listening to Sabbath. Like that was my teacher and Emily and Alice, the 3 of us, like, that's how we learned how to be musicians. Yeah. So of course, like it's just innately we sound like that.
Right.
I play drums like Bill Ward on other projects that I'm not even trying to sound like him because that's just how I sound.
Yep.
Because that's what I did when I learned,
Yeah.
But I think like a compliment to bands like yours is for me, I look at it is like, I don't want to see a cover band. I want to see a band that kind of channels the band and get that vibe. And it seems like that's what you guys show when we saw you live. Like you get the vibe, you feel like that band is being honored, respected. It's coming with a little bit of a twist. You got 4 girls out there rocking and making it like, I don't know, seeing it live, because like you said, I never got to see them live. I certainly didn't see them in the 70s, but that's the closest we'll get. But you feel that energy. And you don't feel, it's just a cheap knockoff in a Gene Simmons suit and bad makeup, because we see that with bad KISS bands all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are some, like you or Bruce Kulick band and Todd Kearns, I say it all the time, he channels Paul Stanley without acting like Paul Stanley. Right. And I feel the same way with you guys. It's the respect, it's, talent, and it's you guys kind of doing it. It's not just, okay, this is the part where I do this. This is the part where Ozzy sings. You guys are doing it your way, but it's with respect and, class towards the band that you guys love.
Well, and it makes sense too, talking to you guys, knowing that you grew up and you've loved Sabbath all along. So like Zeus said, like cover band's probably not a good word. Tribute band is probably the better way to say it, because you're taking that passion of a band that you grew up and learned how to play from, and you care so much about it. Like, it's not like Zeus said, we've personally seen some KISS cover bands, and God love them. They're doing the best that they can, they're doing the best that they can. But at the end of the day, you're just like, But seeing you guys, I mean, when Alice pulls out the harmonica for The Wizard, you're like, I mean, come on. Like, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't think you don't need to say cover in front of it. I just think they're an awesome band. Right. I'll look from now on like, oh shit, are they coming to the Northeast? And that's a kind of a hint. Maybe you should come out this way if you get it.
We play, are you in Boston? Is that where you are?
Yeah.
Based on the accent and the hat.
What accent? I know you're from Queens, so I had to put my Sox hat on.
Yeah, I'm actually, even though I'm from Queens, I'm not a Mets fan. I am, in fact, a rabid Yankees fan.
We could do this. We could do this with you all day.
That's trouble.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage.
Okay, don't.
But we in fact we played Boston. When were we there? Like recently, right? Like over the summer, right?
Oh, no shit. Really?
Yeah, we played at what is it? City Winery in Boston.
Okay. Well, this is your invitation to come back.
Yes. And we played Providence a bunch, and we play up there. We'll be back. We'll be back there.
Do you guys ever go to Hampton? Casino Ballroom
up in New Hampshire.
Oh no, I don't think so. No,
There's a ton, because there's a ton of clubs and venues up there.
Yeah,
the place is packed in the summer with bands playing everywhere up there.
Yeah, the hard rock kind of thing up there is a pretty good niche there. But
so one thing before, because I want to get back to the cruise real quick, because we know your time is valuable, so thank you. But tell me if there is an answer for this. You guys stick to the Aussie catalog.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's a conscious decision to stick with the Aussie catalog?
It has to be all 4 members have to be there, or we don't. So we don't play 13. We don't do anything that everybody's not on. And for us, I think I know it's because I like the Dio records, I like the Ian Gillan record. I know that Emily does. I know that, but that's a different band.
Sure.
It's and it's a different vibe. And for me, Sabbath is all about that 70s swing, and they're more of that hippie kind of like acid rock jam band thing that Sabbath had that the 80s Sabbath just doesn't have. And that's not to say that it's not good. It's different just band. Not what we're doing. And we have an identity for a band that we enjoy that feel. And I just don't, it just doesn't fit in the thing. And, I don't know. I mean, I know these, we talk about this all the time. We'll be like on the road and a Sabbath song will come on in a restaurant or on the radio. And it's almost like, that's not us. Like it's almost like, like that's our song.
Right.
We hear
that's
it.
So cool.
Yep.
That's just kind of how we feel about it,
and
I just don't get that same feel from the Dio records or
different bands. Like when Sammy Hagar took over for David Lee Roth, still a great band, but it's just a different band.
Yeah, it's a different band.
To piggyback on that, you don't do Aussie stuff ever.
No. Yeah. And again, that's a different band.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a different band.
So
Bill Ward's got to be there. Bill Ward has to be there. Geezer has to be there. Tony has to be there, and Ozzy has to be there.
Yeah.
So tell us real quick, or it doesn't have to be real quick. How did the whole thing work with the cruise? Like with you guys, like how were you informed that you were on the cruise? What was your reaction? Were any of you like, wait, KISS has a cruise? What the hell is that? What are we doing on a boat?
I've been wanting to go on the KISS cruise for years.
Okay, so
very excited when we got the offer.
Okay, so were you guys like lobbying to get, like, how does that work? Because Zeus and I were talking about that, because obviously we're not in the business.
Let me jump in, Tom, real quick. I had a friend tell me, and I doubted their what they told me, and they said Paul and Doc pick the bands. I'm like, Paul Stanley does not sit there and pick. He doesn't know any of this shit. He goes, no, Paul Stanley and Doc pick the bands and say, these are the bands we want. And six-man, go get them. That's what I was told. Is that accurate or no?
I mean, I didn't get an email from Paul Stanley, but we did get an email from Six Man just saying like, hey, this is, so-and-so from Six Man. And, we want you guys on the cruise. And they made an offer. I asked for more money and we got more money.
Nice.
And then we said, we were literally, we were in England for almost a month just before it. So it's a good thing we were getting back. We got home. We were home for a week, and then we left on the cruise. So they emailed us and we said yes.
So Emily was pumped.
Negotiation.
Everyone was pumped.
Yeah. Everyone was pumped. Yeah.
I like the rock cruise, and I love the KISS, the KISS angle. So I was very excited to go on.
I mean, in all honesty, the person who was probably least pumped was me, not because I don't like KISS, but just because that the idea of being on a cruise didn't appeal to me that much. But now I'm good with it. We'll go on. We'll do it again next year if they ask us, for sure. I had never been on a cruise before, so it seemed like I felt like, ooh, like, am I going to get seasick? Like, is a bunch of crazy old people playing shuffleboard, which Melanie and I did, and they threw us off the shuffleboard court because it was too late at night. We were playing shuffleboard. Yeah,
but I won.
I over
Melanie won. Yeah.
People being on it. I mean, I was destroyed after 5 days, so I cannot imagine the two-timers being.
We said the exact same thing. We said the exact same thing as we're packing up our stuff the night before. I said, can you imagine, not that it wouldn't be a blast, but mentally and physically being able to handle another 5 days of this. Hell,
you guys
I
didn't
can't
do both. You didn't do 2 weeks.
No,
Hell
God,
no.
no. God, no.
No.
God, no way.
Fuck no.
No way.
No.
That was never an option.
So the question I have is, do you guys do Monsters of Rock cruise? And have you guys looked into that?
No, we haven't. I mean, I was on the Motorhead's motorboat with my other band. That was
okay. Wow. Okay.
My only cruising experience. Very fun. But I know there's a ton of these things, and some are awesome and some are probably not awesome.
I think you can look into the Beach Boys cruise. They got one too,
which is a real thing, by the way.
Yeah, I think we're doing that one next. We're doing pet. We're gonna do Pet Sounds in its entirety.
Oh, I love that. Perfect. So yeah, now when you got on the cruise,
there is something called the 70s, the Time Life 70s cruise, and I think there's an offer for us to do that. It's like it's like Rick Wakeman and all this. Like, I don't know. Really, it's still like it hasn't been nailed down yet, but I know. But we do
there's
a lot
a bunch
of
them. Yeah, there are a bunch of themes like that. They have.
I don't know if people on a Time Life cruise would be able to handle you guys.
Well, it's a 70s cruise, so like it's 70s music. So
okay.
So
I
know
that
means it's like Three Dog Night and like Love and Spoonful.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. I don't
Black
know.
Sabbath is 70s, but be careful. You might have like Casey and the Sunshine Band.
So is like. Yeah, so is Bread and the Carpenters. So I mean, I just don't know if you fit in there.
I'm a huge Carpenters fan.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know if your music fits in there.
Yeah, totally.
Did you guys catch, I think Sebastian did War Pigs, didn't he?
Yes, I got that. Yeah. I was actually not bummed, but since we were on week 2, I had wanted to see LA Guns on week 1. So I was stoked when Tracy Guns came out to play with Sebastian. So I think we all caught the War Pigs.
Right after that thing, I was in the artist lounge, and all the Sebastian guys, they were like, "Where were you? We wanted you to play War Pigs with us." I'm like, "What do you mean? Where was I? No one told me." Like I was there watching you. Like, should I have just known to jump on the stage? Like, if someone jumped on my stage, I wouldn't be too thrilled about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then they were like, "We want you to play it tomorrow." So I was like, "Great." And then the next day, they ended up moving their set because of the weather, remember?
Yes.
And it ended up super early, and I couldn't go do it because we were sound checking for our show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, "Where were you?" I'm like, "Where was I?" Why didn't you tell me? And
you should have said to him, "Where were you last year when you missed the fucking cruge when you were supposed to be?"
I heard that story. Yeah.
He literally missed the boat. He didn't get on the boat last year. They had it. Oh yeah, they had to shuffle up the entire lineup. So last year they were supposed to do what he did this year, the Sebastian Bach jam thing. He didn't get on the boat last year. There's a bunch of stories why that people have heard about why he didn't get on the boat. But so what they did last year was they did a super jam with members from every band that was on the cruise except for KISS. So you'd have like the lead singer from Night Ranger would come out, and then say like Angie would be the drummer, and then you'd have like the guitar player from whoever would come, and then they'd play like, AC/DC music or something. It was pretty wild. I mean, maybe that's what was supposed to happen this year, but none of the other band knew that. So none of us, we were there watching it, but we weren't standing backstage to be called on stage. Like, and it just felt a little like weird and like presumptuous to be, sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
where were you?
Like, yeah, I know. So like, I did in fact, judge the drum off with Eric though, which was quite hilarious because, pardon me, which of the Sweet brothers is the drummer?
Robert.
In Striper. Yeah. So Robert Sweet was backstage, and he was trying to show all of us, all the other drummers, like it was like me and Eric and the drummer from Black Label and Robert and a bunch of people, and he was trying to show us this video of him from the 80s playing a 110-piece drum set.
Oh, Jesus.
But as you guys know, the internet was so bad on the boat.
Oh, it was terrible.
You couldn't even download an email. So we're all standing there waiting for his phone to load a YouTube clip,
Yeah,
and
we're
like, we're all like, okay, like how much longer?
This is taking too long, buddy.
Yeah, he better pray to Jesus to get that fucking internet working because it wasn't going to work on its own.
Yeah, it was very funny.
It was brutal. Any other funny stories you got from the cruise? Because I mean, never mind just the people watching on that cruise. You could have stories for months. But anything else crazy happen along the way?
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know what didn't happen.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
No, I don't know. You know, I was actually listening to your recap, right?
Yep.
It's interesting, like it's like everyone's on the same boat, but you can kind of have these like divergent experiences, right?
Oh, totally.
Depending on what
because you didn't go into the men's bathroom across from the.
Well, that's what I heard about this, and we didn't have that problem like at all.
Across from the buffet, you didn't hit that bathroom.
Oh, what was happening? What was happening in the men's bathroom?
It wasn't good.
There was like a guy with a hazmat suit that came in. Then there was a yard waste bag out in front. It just smelled like
there was something bad.
Throw up, puke, shit, and death.
Oh my God!
And citrus. Because they had a lot of citrus in the bathrooms there.
Oh my God! I went to the pizza thing, the Paul's.
Oh God!
You got his orange flavored pizza. His orange.
No, that was his.
I had the pasta at the.
That was the pasta. You're right, Tom. Sorry.
Good. Come on.
Yeah.
Very rock star-ish. Here's my fucking orange juice pasta.
No self-respecting Italian puts orange juice in their pasta.
Juice pasta? Wait, what?
It's in his recipe.
So at one of the events, the Paul Stanley kitchen thing where he cooks with the chef and everything, and he's making pasta, and he started to pour orange juice into his pasta sauce. See, look at Angie's face.
Well, I'm 100% Sicilian, so
right.
With the last name, like I see Scarpa.
Yeah, I'm 100% Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm 100% Italian. So one of the guys even said, Paul, and he was trying to do it like with a straight face, like, Paul, can you tell us why are you putting orange juice in your sauce? And Paul was like, well, it brings out the aroma. And I'm like, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Nobody puts. So when they served the pasta in the buffet and somebody said, oh, Paul didn't make that batch of pasta, it tasted like somebody poured a bottle of orange juice over it. It was horrendous. Just horrendous.
Is that true, Emily? You had some, right?
It did have a citrus note.
It tasted like the shit that was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's why that bathroom was stinking so bad. It was the fucking pasta people were shitting out. It was horrendous. I'm glad you got to hear it because everyone has different experiences on the cruise. But in the end, it's like, I don't know, like a bunch of people all enjoying good music. For the most part, everyone's getting along great. There's booze, there's unlimited food, unlimited music, and you can meet people, hang out, have fun. It's really win-win, I think.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Great.
And then having it be like Halloween, there were some extra like crazy people, dressed up, running around, shenanigans.
I did think it was a very odd.
What were you wearing, Alice? Because you got your hand up.
Oh, I had a couple of costumes. I filled a whole suitcase with costumes.
Yes.
That's all she brought.
Yeah, you came out one night with something on your head like cat ears or whatever it was, or it was
They're bat ears.
Bat ears. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, it was bear with me. It was around midnight. I was a couple drinks deep into your show, so I saw something. It's okay.
It did seem like an odd choice to me though for them to not have us play on Halloween night.
Yeah.
Like you go through all the trouble of booking Black Sabbitch, and then I guess KISS played Halloween night, so maybe it was probably for the best because everyone would have been at KISS. But like it's Sabbath. Like this, we should have played that night.
It's a good point.
Whatever.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have lined up next? Any? Are you guys taking a break? Do you have any shows or you touring going anywhere? What do you guys have lined up?
We're home for the holidays, but
okay, good.
We're going back to the UK in May.
Okay.
And I think we're going to do some like West Coast and Mountain West touring before then, like Colorado, that kind of, place, on this side of the Midwest. Yeah. So,
West of the Mississippi.
Now,
exactly.
now,
West of
now
the
Emily,
Mississippi.
you're in a few other bands. You said. Can you tell us what you're doing outside of this band?
So I'm in Fireball Ministry.
Yep.
So and we are kind of like writing new stuff, but we don't have like touring plans. I think if we play, it'll be like local, locally, like LA shows coming up. And then I have another band called Hex and Dagger, but we're kind of spread across the globe. We've got England and California, so it's a long distance scenario. Yeah, the bulk of my touring is with these lovely ladies, and
awesome.
It's very, very fun.
Awesome. So Angie, tell us where our listeners obviously are going to love you guys. Where can people find you? Social media, all that stuff. Where can people, if they're interested in you, and buy some merch or follow you guys, or what? Where can we find you?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing is just go to blacksabbitch.com, and then all the links to all of our stuff is there. But our store is there, so you can buy shirts and hats and pins and all kinds of things. But also, on Facebook, just search Black Sabbitch. On Instagram, Twitter, all those things. You can find out what we're doing. We also have a massive YouTube page. We have, there's lots and lots and lots of videos of us on YouTube. So you can just search Black Sabbitch, or you can go to our YouTube page and
awesome.
like us on the socials, and you'll know what we're up to. We'll be posting some new tour dates really soon.
Awesome.
Yeah. We just got home from doing a lot of touring, so right now we're like,
taking a break.
We're like, oh, can we stay
well
home
deserved?
Yeah.
Zeus, anything else?
No, I just wanted to thank the ladies for coming on. You guys, I'm telling you, when we were like, okay, let's get some bands, let's, if we can interview them, and we reached out to you, and you guys were gracious enough to get back to us and work this thing out. And originally I'm like, yeah, we got a couple of them. And then when Angie's like, I got all 4 this time. Tom wakes up and he's at work at 5. He's like, fuck this. I'm staying up and we're doing this. And,
thanks for staying awake.
Well,
absolutely.
That's not hard.
we're on the West Coast, so it's early for us.
And believe me, we're honored to have you guys. Thank you for your time. And to all like our listeners and loudcasters out there, go blacksabbitch.com, I believe. Follow them, like them on all social media platforms. And if they come around your town, you got to go see them and then tell us about it. Absolutely. So make sure you guys get on this, because you're not going to be sorry. Ladies, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Emily, Melanie, Alice, Angie, they are Black Sabbitch. They kick ass. Check them out, ladies. Thank you so much. Appreciate having all 4 of you guys at the same time. It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
All right. We have another amazing special guest. Fresh off the KISS Cruise, we are joined by Bella, Ashley, and Faith of the female rock band Plush. We were lucky enough to see them a few times on the cruise. They kicked some major ass, and we're very excited to be joined by them. We're missing their powerhouse frontwoman, Mariah. She was unable to join us, but that's okay. Bella, Ashley, and Faith are going to take over. Welcome, ladies, to Shout It Out Loudcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Awesome. All right, Zeus, take over. We're gonna find out what these girls think of KISS before we start talking about Plush.
So these are what we call the Murph questions. Murph was Tom's roommate. We're college buddies. Yeah. So this is some of the questions we ask all our guests. So any of our rock star friends that come on, they get all these questions. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna go from my right top here, and that's Faith. So you get the first one. Pretty simple. Do you have a favorite KISS member?
Probably Eric Singer, just because he's a drummer and I'm a drummer too, and he kills it. He kills it live. I love watching him play.
Okay, awesome,
nice,
cool.
All right, Ashley, you're up.
I'm gonna go Paul Stanley.
Okay, all right.
Bella,
I think I'm gonna have to agree, Paul Stanley.
Of course, everybody loves Paul.
Yeah, we saw the nice photo he took of you ladies there too. I saw that online too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool meeting him. He was super nice.
That's
awesome.
Great.
Very nice.
Awesome.
All right, do you guys have a favorite KISS song? And we'll start again with Faith.
My parents play a little bit of KISS growing up. Sure Know Something was one they would play.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Excellent.
Nice. Ashley?
I Love It Loud.
Nice.
Okay, that was a fast answer. Okay. Bella?
I don't know if I can narrow it down to just one. I'd say maybe like lately, either Unholy or Parasite.
Ooh, all right. The Gene stuff. Excellent.
That's great.
All
All
right.
right. Do you guys have a favorite album, Kiss album?
Faith.
Dynasty.
Yes. We love Dynasty.
That's a little off the board. That's great. I think that might be our first Dynasty pick.
I think so too. Yeah.
That's awesome. We love that album. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Ashley, what about you?
Maybe Creatures of the Night.
Oh, Zeus loves
Ooh.
creatures. Yep.
I do.
Bella.
Good pick.
It's Revenge.
Yes. All right. Oh, see, Bella's hitting them out of the park here.
All right. I know. Yeah, like looking at Tom's picks or something because he's like loving this shit. All right. So, have you guys, besides the cruise, how many have you been to any Kiss concerts? If so, how many? So, Faith.
This was actually my first time seeing them on the cruise.
So,
Okay.
did you get to see them? You saw the Sail Away show and an indoor show? Did you see?
Yes. Yeah, we watched all of them on the cruise.
Did you get
Awesome.
to see both indoor shows?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
They were great.
Perks. We
Very
only
cool.
get one. And some of us don't even, I don't know if you guys are even aware of that. So we have a cabin of 4. Only 2 of us get tickets. The other 2
Yeah.
people
Oh, really?
buy tickets to the Kiss Cruise, don't get tickets to see them inside. Do you believe that?
No way.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Yep. That's how it is. First 2 in, get the tickets. The other ones, oh, I'm sorry. There's a capacity. You can't have that many people. So,
So
yeah.
how do you figure out who gets the tickets? Rock, paper, scissors.
Fuck it. I signed up first. Yeah. You guys, you guys figure it out. Yeah. It's kind of messed up, but all right. Ashley, have you seen them other than the cruise?
No, I haven't, and I thought it was hilarious that the first time I ever saw them, they didn't have makeup on.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's
the
right.
Sail
Yeah.
Away.
The Sail Away show. That's right.
I was
So
like,
did-
this is crazy. Where is it? Where are their faces?
Yeah.
Did you see them both shows as well? Like the
I
both
did.
indoors as well? Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Awesome.
All right, Bella. It sounded like you saw them before the cruise.
Yes. I honestly don't even know how many times.
Really? All right.
Didn't you say you're like 18?
I'm 20.
Oh,
Okay.
you're 20.
Actually, the first time I saw them was my second concert ever. I believe it was the Live 35 tour. I was like 7 or something.
Nice.
So your parents must have been into Kiss, I'm assuming.
Oh,
right?
yeah. They're huge Kiss fans.
Oh, see, that's beautiful.
Dude, imagine having a kid and your kid grows up and she performs on the Kiss Cruise.
It was totally surreal. Like, we had extra tickets, so like my dad got to go, and it's like so crazy. Like, like Ace Frehley is the reason both of us started playing guitar. Actually, for both of us when we were kids. So it's like totally cool. It's like a multi-generational thing, to like.
So did he teach you guitar? You learned from your father, and he taught you?
I learned a few things from him. I definitely started playing because of him, but actually I kind of like, he owns a music store, so I was always there and would take lessons from the teachers and stuff.
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
So
Very cool.
There's a nice little Kiss connection there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
So
awesome.
What was that number? What was the final number? If you had to guess, how many shows have you seen?
Oh gosh. Maybe like 6.
Okay.
8.
Are you including the cruise?
Oh no, that's not including the cruise.
So
that's on
let's
3
say
times on
let's say
cruise.
10 to be safe. How's
Yeah,
that?
about that.
Perfect. All
That's
right,
pretty good.
now-
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 20 years old and you've seen Kiss about 10 times. That's pretty awesome.
So
Yeah.
Faith is 18.
Yeah.
Ashley, how old are you?
I am 19.
Jesus.
18.
But I'm
19.
pushing 20.
Oh, shit.
I mean, those photos of you guys having drinks in your hand on the cruise. What was that? Oh no.
There's no drinking age on international waters. I don't think. is there?
That's right, counselor. Good job.
That's right.
Water. It's water.
Oh, it's water.
But
Okay.
even the water on the cruise had alcohol in it because of that cruise
Funny,
water.
funny water they called it. Yeah, it was smart, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Water. Smart water. I don't know. Smart water.
Faith, so the last question is for all of you. Do you have a favorite Kiss memory? And I can completely understand if you're like, yeah, I just played the cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely would have to be that. Like, that was my first time ever on a cruise too, and like just being able to play with them is like such like a huge opportunity, and like I'm super thankful we were able to get that.
That's
awesome. Now, Ashley, we saw on your website that you have a little bit of a background with Ace.
I do, yes. When I was 6 years old, I sang backing vocals on Ace's record Anomaly.
Okay, you have to tell us how a 6-year-old ends up on Ace Frehley's album.
Hey, I need a 6-year-old to come do some backing tracks with me. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so hey, she could do a better job than me.
Guys, I'm looking for a kindergartner to help out with my new album.
They can write better lyrics than I can, but go on. Ashley, I'm sorry.
I don't even know if I was in kindergarten yet. I think I might have been.
Hey, you know what? A word that rhymes with glad? Sorry.
Glad.
Yeah. So do you remember? So how did that happen? How do you end up on that album?
My dad and Ace had been friends for a while. Like, my dad
Okay.
was jammed together, and my dad had done security for him a couple of times. So they'd known each other for a while, and Ace would just come to my house growing up. Like, they would go and ride motorcycles together, so he would just, like, be here, and I'd be like, hey. So I just grew up around him a lot, and he kind of ended up being, like, really, like, an uncle figure to me growing up.
Uncle Ace!
Yeah, no, I call him that.
That is too funny. Oh, my God.
That is a SNL character right
That
there.
is
Uncle Ace. Hey, kids, what's going on? Anybody want to go to the liquor store with me?
So one night, I just kind of, I don't know, I got out of bed one night because I was about to go to bed. It was like probably before 8 p.m. because I was 6. And my dad was like, do you want to go to the studio? And I was like, why? Because I didn't understand what was going on. And then we went to Ace's studio and we recorded the backing vocals on A Little Below the Angels.
That is incredible. Oh, my.
It was so much fun. It was really a great first experience to have in the professional music world. Because
Sure.
it went so well, and it made me love music the way that I do now. So I thank him endlessly for that.
Absolutely. Amazing.
So I'm assuming that's your favorite memory, playing with Ace, all right, on his album, I'm assuming?
If that counts, yes.
Oh, that counts.
Yeah,
of course.
That's a KISS memory.
That counts.
Absolutely. All right. You're up, Bella.
For favorite KISS memory, I don't know. It's tough. I think, honestly, it would probably be the first time I saw them. This was so funny. We were taking the train from Maine down to Boston because we saw them at TD. Yep. And it was, I kind of just a coincidence, like a bunch of, friends and their kids were all on the train going to the show too. And they had got like face paint for the show. So my mom ended up doing everyone's makeup like while we're on the train.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
There's like pictures of me like, a little kid, like with the Ace Frehley makeup and everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
That's probably my favorite.
That's awesome. And you got to see them play.
Oh, yeah. Then totally, the first time seeing him like just blew my mind completely.
Of course. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So this is why we ask these questions for first time guests, because everybody always has such fun stories. That's awesome. So let's circle back to you guys and Plush. Tell us a little bit about how did you end up on the cruise? Were you guys even aware that there was a thing called the KISS Cruise? I mean, you guys are KISS fans, so it sounds like you were, but like how did you end up on the cruise when you got the call? Like, tell us about that, because I mean, being KISS fans and being a young band, you just must have been like, over the moon when you found out that you were being added to the cruise.
Yeah, totally. It's actually a pretty crazy story. I mean, we're so thankful. We had known about the cruise and stuff, but never would have guessed we would have been on it. And earlier this year, when we were touring with Slash, featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators,
nice.
We're hanging out with Todd and Brent all the time.
Love those
guys.
Yep.
The absolute sweetest.
Yep.
Todd is amazing.
Yeah, we've had Todd on here. Yep.
We sing his praises all the time. I said he's the MVP of this cruise. That guy can do everything.
Yep.
So underrated.
Yeah, the musicianship for both of them is just
and Brent. Yeah, the whole band. Yeah.
Oh, the whole band. It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was so funny. I remember one day we were in catering and Brent was asking us, he's like, so do you guys have anything planned for the fall? And we're like, yeah, we don't know right now. And he's like, well, it kind of recommended you guys to Eric Singer for the cruise. I'm like, there's no way.
Wow.
You're joking, right? He's like,
wow.
No. So yeah, it was insane. And it was so awesome too, to get to see them on the cruise after,
Sure.
earlier this year. And we're just so stoked about the opportunity.
Oh my
That
God.
is so cool.
Had any of you, Faith, you said you had never been on a cruise before. Bella or Ashley, had either of you ever been on a cruise before the KISS Cruise? No?
No.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Faith, did you get seasick on the cruise?
Somebody got sick, right?
Did somebody get sick on the cruise?
But the rest of it was fine. It was just like one night I got like a little bit more sick.
Okay, I can't blame you, because there was some rough nights on that ship near the end of the week. It was getting pretty exciting for a lot of people.
This was our second in a row. Last year it was brutal.
Last year was
like
really
75% of the ship was throwing up for hours.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, last year it happened like overnight into the following morning, and overnight people couldn't even sleep because
nobody could get up and stuff. I didn't get up till 6 p.m. But because of that, Tom gave me those patches, the wristband thing, and the thing that goes behind your ear
for motion sickness.
And I get motion sickness all the time, and I was fine, and I made it through. Yeah. So I'm just a future tip. If it worked for me, it should work for anybody, because I can't stand that shit. But believe it or not, the ship was way better than it was last year.
And it was still bad for some people, but last year was unbearable. Like you couldn't even
go to.
Last year it went to Belize and Honduras.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I wonder if it has to do with the water.
It could have been, because last year it was obviously last year the ship took off out of Miami and went down there. This year it took off out of LA and went down to Mexico. I think there was a storm in Mexico. I mean, anytime you're in those open waters, you're always at the risk of something crazy happening. But so on the cruise, what did you guys? You saw KISS. Did you guys? Are you busy? Like, is your schedule like really structured? Were you able to see bands like Sisters Doll and do what you want, or did you have to be in certain places? Like, how did you guys enjoy the week?
It was so nice because it was kind of like a built-in vacation. Like we had the shows that we played, and then we were there for one of the signing sessions, and then one morning we were there for bingo. But that was like,
yes, we were with you.
So you were.
I hope you loved bingo.
That was so fun.
I was so excited for that. Like,
best day of my life.
Honestly. Yes, Ashley is marrying some Turkish. What was he? The bingo guy, and giving him his green card, so now he can stay with you, right? And I don't know, but he was.
Look at their faces; they're terrified.
He had a rapport going with you guys pretty well, and that was quite funny there in the beginning.
Look at Ashley; she's.
I don't even know what to say to that.
It's okay; it's all good. You guys had a little fun there with him.
He was a super nice guy.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure he was. He was one of many that were. Each of them had like a character about them. They're all funny.
Oh yeah, the cruise ship was incredible. They were just so fun to talk to and to hang out with. Even though you never really hung out with them, but I don't know. When you're ordering, it's like nice to have a conversation with them, and I don't know. It's just so nice to talk to people that are fun.
Yeah, no, and that's the first time because I didn't catch I think you performed before the bingo night, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. I caught the second one.
Yep.
So, and that was the one that our friend that was with us, Tracy, was like, I love these girls. I got to go see them. And Tracy had come up and taken some photos. We took some photos with you guys afterwards. And we certainly shared them as well. You guys, right then, we were like, oh my God, they're so funny. And you guys, for such a young age, you guys had stage presence. You could hold your own and carry we were really impressed. So, the thought of after this, we were like, let's see if we can get them on, because I'd love to talk to you guys about your music and stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell us. So Zeus and I are obviously, much older. Like I have a son who's in college that's Faith's age. So put it that way. You guys have opened for some of our favorite bands, or been on tour with some of our favorite bands, namely Alice in Chains. Not too far ago, Hailstorm and Evanescence. Talk to us a little bit about that kind of experience, like a young, up and coming, band with visions of superstardom, and you're with these like epic bands. Like talk to us about that, how you ended up on these tours and just like playing, meeting, especially a female band playing with Hailstorm and Evanescence, two of like the great female fronted bands around,
It's seriously, the whole thing has been such a whirlwind. And I feel like too, as our first big tour being with Hailstorm and Evanescence, it was so
incredible
inspiring and like empowering too, as an all-female band, to be going out with, women that we've all really looked up to since we were kids. So like kind of one of those crazy full circle things. And we've gotten really lucky, and every tour we've been on, it's just everyone's so supportive and kind of like willing to take us under their wing and like, kind of just be so welcoming, I guess, is kind of what's so special about it. I feel like, especially as women in the industry, and kind of realizing there's such a cool network of like women in rock.
Yeah. Ashley, how about you?
It has been a really surreal experience. I mean, we just went out with Alice in Chains, which has been my favorite band since before I could even walk.
We got to hear more then. So, because when we are like, many moons ago, when we were in college, we would grab the Alice in Chains CDs, whether it be Dirt or Sap or
Jar of Flies,
and it'd be on shuffle because we'd have the CD player, and we used to blast that shit all the time. We loved them.
We still love Alice in Chains to this day.
Jerry in Boston not even a year ago, right?
Yeah, we saw. Yeah, Jerry Cantrell. We saw him on a solo
Brighton,
tour,
which is awesome.
Yep.
That tour is continuing too. I would love to go catch it this year.
Yeah. They just released more dates in the Northeast too. I know there's definitely a Portland date.
They did, and he tours with another vocalist that kind of plays a little bit of the role of Lane Staley and some of it, because he does Alice in Chains songs as well as his solo material, because he has a great solo catalog. But yeah, Ashley, go ahead. You were talking about Alice in Chains and how that was for you.
It just really was amazing. You never expect to be in this position with your idols, and then when by whatever chance that there is in the world that you are put into that, it's just, you don't even know what to think or what to say, but you just have to be in that moment and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And how was seeing Jerry play guitar up close and on tour every night? How was that?
It was phenomenal. He is a phenomenal player and an incredible person. Yeah. One of the nicest people I've met so far.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that's always nice to hear. That's great. We're huge fans of Alice in Chains.
Huge.
And that's great. What about you, Faith? Are you a AIC fan?
Yeah, their music is great. That was actually my first tour ever was with Plush, joining that tour. Yeah. And it was great live, and just like playing those like venues too was so cool. Playing at that size. And they're all great to meet too. Super supportive crew. Like everyone was there to help out if you ever needed it. So it's great to be like a part of such a supportive crew. Like my first time going into something like this.
That's incredible. I'm trying to picture getting out of high school and being like, you're going to be the drummer of a band that goes and hangs out with Alice in Chains. Like, I mean, what a moment for you guys. That's incredible. It's just so awesome to see this. And I think the thing, especially like we said, with Zeus and I being older guys, we come from a rock background, 80s rock and 90s grunge, seeing young women like yourself, like loving that kind of music, it's because a lot of people, even Gene Simmons sometimes says, rock is dead and, all this, seeing you guys carry that torch and kick ass with your debut album and your performance on the cruise. It's just, rock is not dead. It's, it might just not be, unfortunately, as prominent as some of the pop stuff and the hip hop stuff, but you guys are out there, and it's pretty awesome to see.
Thank you so much. I completely agree. It's alive and well. And I think too, what was so cool on the cruise was there's so many other bands that were, young and just getting into it, like same boat we are in. I mean, literally same boat, but it was so cool to see, and just like super inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I didn't know your music prior. I saw you guys, and I've gone to. I'm not a Spotify guy, but I had to get it because I haven't ordered your CD yet, which I will. And listening to your stuff, it's not just, here's some 4 young girls, they play rock. No, it's good music. I don't care who it was. If somebody sent me the CD or I just turned on Spotify, I'd be like, oh shit, this band rocks. Who the hell is this? The music, the lyrics, the vocal, the musicianship, it's all there at a maturity level way past your age. And you guys are pulling it off. So kudos to you guys. Cause I think, we'll be saying, I don't think they're going to come to the next KISS Cruise because they'll probably do their own someday. And
it's true.
I really see you guys going far. I fell in love with Hailstorm this year too. Really get into their music. I see a little bit of a similarity, not just because of the female aspect, but because of the passion and the vocals that go into it and the music. It's just, it seems like you guys have something to say. You're not just like, okay, let's just play music and hopefully we'll become stars. No, you guys believe in this stuff and it really comes across that way.
Thank you so much. That means so much to hear. Collectively, that's kind of all our view of like, it's the music first and the songs, and it's like whatever imaging and stuff that's always secondary. It's all about, what are you trying to say in your song and like, your commitment to your instrument. And it's just really special to see it, kind of taking off. I think none of us expected it to, kind of take this turn of events, especially at this age.
Yeah, it's incredible. What do you guys have lined up now? Are you taking a break for the holidays, or what do you have next on your schedule? I know coming off the cruise was a big deal, and obviously we have the holidays coming up. Are you taking a break, or what's next for Plush right now?
We are taking a bit of a break right now because our singer Mariah is actually on tour with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and we're excited for her.
Incredible. What an opportunity. Have you guys seen Trans-Siberian before?
No, but I'd love to.
I'm telling you, it is an absolutely mind-blowing show. I mean, visually, musically, artistically, if you can get your hands on tickets, I can't recommend a show more exciting than that.
I'll be going since they're doing West Coast tour.
You're going, Faith?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic! You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, Tom's been singing the praises of TSO for quite some time.
Oh, I've seen them twice. They're incredible. They're incredible.
Yeah, I know you love them. So what is in store now for, besides a tour? Do you guys have goals set to start working on a different record? Where are you guys at this point?
Yes, definitely. Right now it's, since we have those couple months off, it's really kind of focusing on writing and getting ready for new music. I believe we're recording this winter, and
awesome.
We're going to have a lot of new music out next year.
Awesome. Well, you're the album that you have now, and Zeus and I'm a music streamer. I do Spotify, but we both believe in the physical product. Zeus got the CD. I ordered the purple vinyl because I'm a vinyl guy.
Oh, thank you.
So I went on your website and saw that. I'm like, I'm going to support these ladies. So we love to support up and coming bands buying the physical product. So we definitely did that. So if people are interested in Plush, I know that you guys have a huge fan base, but if people are listening to our show and this is the first time that they're hearing about you guys, where can they go? Where do they go? Do you have a website, social media? Tell our listeners where they can go to find more out about you guys and buy those CDs and buy the vinyl, the shirts, and find out about touring.
Yeah, so our website is plushrocks.net, and our Facebook is Plush Official, and our Instagram and Twitter is Plush Rocks.
Awesome. Fantastic. Zeus, anything else for the ladies here before we let them go? We really appreciate all the time you've had.
Honestly, we expect bigger and better things from you guys. Yeah. You're going to in years to come, we'll be following you guys along and be like, oh, look at them. Now they're on their headlining tour. Oh, look at them now. They got this set up. Oh, look at them here. They're singing at the Super Bowl. Who knows? We expect a lot from you guys. We were really impressed. You're a great bunch of musicians and even better people. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate your time. And we hope that we'll catch you maybe on the next cruise. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your confidence in us, and thank you so much for having us today. It's been so much fun with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Faith, Ashley, Bella, and give our best to Mariah the next time you see her. Tell her how huge fans we are. We understand why she couldn't be here, but we're so grateful for your time, and we wish you guys nothing but the best. You guys have a huge and bright future, and we're proud to be supporters of you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You.
Ladies, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, so joining us is another one of the standout bands from the most recent KISS Cruise. We are joined by Brennan, Bryce, and Austin. You know them as Sisters Doll. They are all here with us tonight to talk about their band, their experience on the KISS Cruise, and all things KISS and music. Welcome to Shout Out Loudcast, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We're very excited to be a part of this awesome podcast. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Zeus is going to take it from here. We're going to get into some KISS talk to start off.
Yeah, we're going to get into those Murph questions. This is very easy. You guys should be able to hit this out of the park. So I'm going to start. We'll go with Austin, so our viewers who don't see this can hear this. We're going to go to Austin, then Brennan, then Bryce, then Brennan. So the first simple question is, who's your favorite KISS member?
Oh, shit.
It's like, oh, I thought this was easy. Listen, and when you answer these, you can say right now, or you can say, hey, growing up, I was a Peter Criss fan, but now I'm an Ace fan. Like, whatever. It's okay.
Right. Yeah, okay. Well, look, as a kid, growing up, I always loved Eric Carr, to be honest.
Okay. Awesome.
Loved Eric Carr. But, actually getting to know the members and working with working with Peter Criss, and just how genuine he is and such a great guy, and then how much he's helped us, not just because he's helped us out, but he is just genuinely a good guy. So I have to say Peter, of course. So
okay, awesome.
And I'm wearing this in your honor, guys. My Peter Criss.
Very good. Awesome. Nice. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to Bryce next.
Alrighty. Definitely I gotta go with Peter Criss. Growing up, and it's crazy how the story does full circle, how we eventually got to work with him, and now we can call him almost our second dad.
Nice.
It's just crazy. But growing up playing drums, I used to started drums when I was very young, 5 years old, and I used to dress up as Peter, and he was like he was like my god, like my superhero.
Sure.
And then I'll go with Peter for sure. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys, did you do the Halloween as KISS growing up?
Yeah, we did. We actually used to do a Christmas pageant around our local town. There used to be a Christmas pageant. So we were little kids, and we'd all dress up in KISS makeup, and we'd pretend to play fake cardboard guitars as we're going around our town.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I had the Peter Criss Halloween costume. I put it up every Halloween when I was 5, 6 years old. I love that shit. Those 78, I think those.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah.
Those plastic costumes with a rubber band on the back. You couldn't breathe when it was over your face.
Yeah. We were pretty good back then. All right, Brennan, how about you?
Growing up, definitely my favorite was at the time when I was growing up, I loved Ace. Ace was my hero. I loved him. I loved the blue. I loved everything. I just remember Ace was my hero as a kid. And then as I got older, I sort of modeled myself and influenced myself off Paul. So I should say a bit of Paul. But like Austin said, obviously the connection we've had with Peter Criss over the last few years, it's hard to say anyone but Peter. So we love Peter and Gigi and the way they looked after us. So, definitely Peter. But we love them all.
Of course, yeah, we all do.
Tom, this is going to be my favorite guest, man. It's a Peter love fest.
It's a Peter party. Why not?
Dude, you know what shit I get for having Peter as my favorite? Everyone's like, oh, it's always Ace or Paul or Gene, but I love it. That's awesome.
Nice.
So we're going to start with another easy one for you, Austin. This one is your favorite KISS song.
Favorite KISS song.
Now you can say now or growing up or today or this week, whatever.
Shit. I hate this question because I never know what to say because
what do you like right now? If you had to pick one KISS song to play, what are you playing?
You know what? I think it would be I Want You. I think I Want You.
Okay. Wow. We've actually had that a couple times. People say that.
This week.
We've had a couple guests on that. They love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the riff. It's all the originals. I love that.
Okay.
All right, Bryce, you're up.
All right, straight off the bat, off the top of my head, and we just played this on the KISS Cruise. Creatures of the Night.
Nice. Okay.
I think somebody picked that too.
Somebody else picked that one recently too. Yeah. We keep track of all this. So we're approaching our 200th episode. So all the guests that we have on, we always do these questions. So we kind of keep track of the answers, and we get a lot of people love the Rock and Roll Over album and the song. So it's interesting.
Todd Kearns to Bruce Kulick to Jericho, his band Quarantine, Eddie Trunk, all of them. Everybody we've had on, we asked these questions, and it's always nice to get somebody off the radar, give us something off, not expected. But I'm curious. So we got Brennan last. So what do you got, buddy?
I've got two, but I'd have to say it was cool to see it live, actually, because we're not very lucky over in Australia. KISS haven't come, and they never played this one live much. So to see it on the cruise was awesome, and that's Got to Choose. I love that.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Another easy one for you, Austin.
None of these are easy. We try to fool you into thinking that they are.
I'm being sarcastic at this point.
I know.
How about your favorite KISS album?
Favorite album? I think I would have to... I love Revenge. I can listen to that all the way through, and I love the heavy stuff. So I think it's great.
Awesome.
I love the way Paul sings on that. He has got a lot more rasp in his tone, and Dean's vocals are great, and Bruce's guitaring, everything. I love that album. I think it's great.
Yeah, so. Bruce is on that. That's a Bruce album to me. Yeah, he's on fire on that album.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Bryce, you're up, buddy.
I gotta go the same. As soon as you said it, I'm like,
oh, okay.
For sure. Yeah. Like Eric Singer's drumming, I think was like,
and Eric as well.
Yeah, they were firing on all cylinders on Revenge. Absolutely.
I love that lineup of KISS.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Revenge lineup.
Amazing. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Brendan.
I'm gonna have to go because this album, I was always stuck with me. Crazy Nights is a bit left field, but
we
love Crazy Nights. Absolutely.
We really ranked that high. We did a review of it not too long ago. We love it. Our buddy Jericho is doing an episode on his podcast because he likes to say this, and it's funny, these albums you guys mentioned, that Crazy Nights and Revenge are sister albums.
No way. We love Jericho, but no way.
Yeah, it was at Creatures Fest late on, I think it's the first night, and everybody's drunk in the hallway. They kick you out of the bar there, and everyone moved to the hallway, and he was trying to convince us that it was sister. I'm like, dude, you are fucking hammered. There's no way these two albums are sister albums, but he loves that Crazy Nights.
But we did an album review on Crazy Nights not too long ago, and when you spend a lot of time with that album, you realize how really underrated Bruce is on that album.
Yeah,
I mean, we love Bruce. I mean, everybody loves Bruce. But that's a great album, and Zeus and I always sing the praises of those Gene 80s songs. All those Gene songs from the 80s, they get like, a lot of people kind of forget about them because everybody thinks of Paul as being the 80s, which rightly so. But a lot of those Gene songs from the 80s, especially on Crazy Nights, are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So how many KISS concerts have you guys been to? Now, I don't know. I assume you guys, because you're brothers, doesn't mean you always go together. So if anybody has a different number, Austin, how many concerts? And you can include the cruise too.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm trying to think how to add up.
It's got to be
a lot. More than 5, more than 10, more than 20?
It'd be more than 10. More than 10.
More than 10? Wow. Okay.
All three.
For all three of you, pretty much?
Yeah,
I've been to a couple.
I've seen a few more when they come in 2015. I went to all the shows, actually. So there was about 8 shows on that tour, I'm pretty sure. And we were lucky enough to see them in Irvine, actually, in America, which was cool.
Cool.
With Motley Crue, which was cool, on the 2012 tour. We're in America at the time, so it was cool to see them over there as well. Because
I forgot about that one too.
Other than that, it's only been in Australia. We've never sseen them anywhere else. So, but pretty much since the farewell tour, every Australian tour they came to, if they came, like when they come, we'd been to them all. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So it's funny. I think the most was Carmine Appice, Carmine, the drummer.
Yeah.
He told us he's been over 100 shows. I don't know how accurate that is. And then our buddy, and I'm sure you know him, Joey Casada.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He said he's been to about 80.
Yeah.
Wow.
And his band ZO2 had opened for them as well. So
they did too. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's a shit ton. And the last, and this is going to be different for each one of you, but we're going to start with Austin. Your favorite Kiss memory.
It could be something from childhood. It could be from the cruise. It could be from Creatures Fest, or anything that kind of sticks out as your favorite Kiss memory.
Yeah. Okay. I have a memory from a childhood. I just remember being a kid, dressed up in the makeup and the costume, and I remember I didn't have the best seats, but I still remember sitting there, and I just always remember when the flames would go off and just the heat I'd feel on my face. I was this is nuts. And then just seeing what they were doing in the music, I always remember hearing. I always remember hearing "Let Me Go Rock and Roll." Like, I was so young, but that's a memory. I remember hearing that song, and I remember being like I love this song, and just with the pyros and everything, and I was like, seeing that at that time, it was like, oh my God, I want to do the same thing. I want to do that. So
that's awesome. That's a great memory.
Always amazing. Like, you can feel that fucking heat, and you're like, how the hell is Eric not like melted behind the drums?
Yeah, we say that all the time. We've seen them in indoor venues, outdoor venues, and up close, far away. Every time those pyros go, we can feel that blast of heat. Like Zeus said, Eric Singer is like 2 feet away from it. It's like I don't get it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Bryce, what do you got?
All right. Speaking of Eric Singer, I had a really cool experience recently when they just toured Melbourne. I'm good mates with Eric, and we talk from time to time on the socials and everything. And we caught up after their last show in Melbourne, and yeah, his last stage played drumsticks in Melbourne. He actually gave to me after the show, and that's just like a memory I'll hold with me forever.
Absolutely.
And,
that's great.
Incredible. So that's not really a Kiss experience, but I guess
that's a Kiss memory. Absolutely.
I'll tell you though, anybody has ever mentioned him, because he's probably he doesn't do social media a lot.
He's very private.
He's very private. So the fans don't know much about him, but any musician or anybody else that talks about him always describes like this guy that's talkative and friendly and goes out of his way to get relationships, and he doesn't care who you are or where you are on the rock star level. Like, he's cool with everybody.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Such a lovely guy. Yeah.
Nice. That's good. That's good to hear. Nice.
All right, Brennan, what do you got?
Oh, I have to say there's so many memories, but one was really nice. Me and Bryce actually when they came with Motley Crue in 2013 or whatever, they came to Australia, and we bought the Motley Crue meet and greet because I missed out on the Kiss meet and greet at the time. So we bought the Motley one, which was like you were just like sheep in a line and got the photo. It wasn't that great.
Too quick.
Yeah. But the best thing about buying that ticket was it gave us early access into the venue. So we literally opened up the doors and we ran, and we had the pick of where can we stand. So we literally went dead center front row, and watching Kiss come down on the platform. Me and Bryce, like as brothers, it was just it was a good moment. Like, I was like, this is cool. So that would probably be my Kiss moment. That was a good memory.
Nice. Awesome. Every time we ask these questions to the guests, our favorite question is always the memory question, because everybody always has a special story, something that's really personal to them, and it just kind of it reinforces the idea of like the Kiss Army. How just the band it just means so much to everybody.
There's so many surreal stories we've heard from all these artists that tell us these small little quirky stories. One of the ladies over at Black Sabbitch was mentioning that she was in the control booth when they did the reunion, and no one knew. And Tommy was the one who called because she worked at that, studio.
The rehearsal studio.
We can't tell you who it is. And then eventually said, it's Kiss. And the four of them are getting back together in 96. And she was in the studio every day with them.
Yep.
As they were practicing. She's like, when they first put on their instruments and played together for the first time in 15 years or so, she goes, it was the four of them and me.
Yeah.
How fucking cool is that?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's great. Now, for us, you came on our radar. We couldn't make it to the last Peter show. So even though we're in Boston, I wish I had a chance to do it, to see you guys in New York. But you came on our radar when Creatures Fest came around.
Yeah, yep.
And I will say you guys really impressed everybody there.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that was the talk of all us, there's a million podcasters there and Kiss fans and all that stuff. was you specifically, Brennan, with the I Still Love You version that you did outdoors.
Oh, incredible.
Tom, how much was everybody like, what the fuck? Where did they find this guy? Everybody was talking about it.
So here's the thing. So we're all at the pool. Everybody's all excited for the Creatures Fest weekend. And everybody who's a KISS fan knows Paul's vocals on I Still Love You is just epic. So everyone is, waiting to see how is he going to pull this off? Is he going to do this? And I will never forget everybody looking at each other being like, holy shit.
I looked at you. Remember? I'm like, what the fuck?
We were all like this. We're all like, this kid is crushing it right now with I Still Love You. Like it was fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much. It was kind of sprung on me last minute because we were obviously we had a bit of a set list going, and then things changed when we got there. And so they said, "Do you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Oh, not really, but I'll give it a crack. If no one else wants to do it, I'll do it." And like I knew the lyrics from a kid, but when you have to actually sing it in front of 1,000 KISS fans or whatever, how many people were there, I was like, I got to get these lyrics right. So I actually wrote them out, and I had them on the foldback speaker, so I had them right there. And personally, I think I could have sung it better, but I guess everyone got caught up in the moment, and it was a good moment, and it kind of worked for us because it was at the start of the weekend. People saw that, and then were like, wow, who's this band? I got to see what they're doing here, what they're so it kind of worked. It was kind of a cool idea, but yeah, I was nervous. Don't think I went out there and was like, I'm going to nail this. I was like, let me hope to nail it,
So we're really good friends with Joey Casada, and he was like, and we talked about Creatures Fest. We did an episode all about it and stuff. And he was like, in the room with you guys when you were throwing out, like, who's going to do what? And he's like, and this kid came out. He's like, holy shit, the kid nailed it, right?
Yep.
And now to everybody, you guys are kids. We're 49.
We're old men. We're old men. We're almost.
Yeah.
We're almost 50,
what are your ages right now?
Yeah. How old's everybody?
I'm 29.
I'm 24.
I'm 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys been at this for 10 years.
Yeah, about that. About 11 years. Yeah.
This is the episode where Zeus and I feel old because last night we interviewed the three of the four girls from Plush, and they were 18, 19, and 20. So.
It makes them look old then. But it's just like, man, you guys have been at this for a while. So Creatures Fest is where we got you. You kind of came on our radar. I didn't know you had a merch booth. Our buddy Sonny picked up a bunch of your music, and then he told me, like, after the thing was over, I was like, oh shit. But we will be plugging your stuff so people can find out where they can get all your music, all your merch, and everything else.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Now, the other part to me, and as I've said a couple times already, is the Peter connection. So can you kind of explain how it came to be that you guys, he personally picked you guys, correct, to be the band that backs him up for his last performance? Well, what was his last performance, his full concert in New York a few years back.
Yeah, so we were just lucky at the time. The promoter that was come up with the concept to bring him to Australia for like one last time, we knew at the time really well. And we played with Bruce a few years prior. And so, they offered it. They said, do you want, because obviously to bring a band over from the States. Peter didn't really have a band like situated together. So we got the opportunity, had a few meetings with Peter and his musical director Alex, and got the opportunity to do it. But Peter was a bit nervous. Obviously, he didn't know us. We were a lot younger at the time, so we just made sure, like we did with Bruce, we did our homework, and so we were we were spot on. We're ready to go with everything. We down to every harmony, and obviously Peter's stuff as well from that. Because a lot of it was from the solo album, stuff that we played. So it wasn't like just, guitar, bass, and drums and vocals. There was a lot of other things that we sort of had to and we'd never played with an orchestra before. And so it was a little bit different. But the first rehearsal with Peter, his face lit up and he
got excited.
Yeah, and we can't explain it, even to this day, the connection we had. It was almost like fate. It wasn't like he got there and all of a sudden everything went, it was literally just smooth, just all got on well. And then obviously we thought that was it, we're just going to do the Melbourne show, but because he had so much fun, it was effortless for all of us. It was all just we just connected. He was like, I don't want to play with anyone else in New York. I want you to come over and be my band.
Wow.
And we were like, oh, wow, we'd love to. Like, we're honored to. But, you know, like, he could have picked anyone to play with him. Like, you know, there was John Five would jump up tomorrow to play with him. You know,
yeah.
And we're just like three at the time, you know, with three kids from Australia. And we like, we'd be honored to. And we come over, and then, you know, then the connection grew more. And just him and Gigi have, you know, they've just really got a connection with us, and they've just really pushed us, you know, like we wouldn't have been at Creatures Fest if it wasn't for them, you know. So they've really just tried to, you know, use Peter's platform to sort of get us out there to the world, but they don't want us to be like just, you know, they want us to be successful on our own rather than just be back with Peter either. So they've just been great. They've been reaching out to as many people as they can with Peter's influence, and and it's been helping, you know, and it's so hard from living over here. So eventually we want to try and make that move and come over to the States and give it a good crack, you know, for a couple of years and just see where we can take it, you know, like,
Yeah. I can tell you that from Creatures Fest, we were there. We had a great time. You guys, even without the Peter connection, just Sisters Doll, your own original music, you were one of the biggest buzzes of that weekend. I know that. And then I remember everybody was obviously then after Creatures Fest looking forward to what was going to happen at KISS Kruise. And then when you guys were eventually added to that, you could feel that energy with all the KISS fans, all the people from Creatures Fest that were now going on the cruise. Like, okay, Sisters Doll is now going to be there. They're going to be there on their own because Peter obviously was not on the cruise. So, you know, talk to us about how, you know, you came off that high of Creatures Fest and then you found out that you were going to be on KISS Kruise. And like you said, now you're your own band where you can show everybody what Sisters Doll can do on your own without the connection to Peter.
Yeah. Well, I think we're most excited for that is like we're going to be on the cruise playing our original stuff.
Yeah.
Decent length sets. We've got to play 3 times. So that for us was super excited about. And we're especially excited as well because, yes, we did just do Creatures Fest. And rather than being away from the States or whatever for such a long period where you can almost get forgotten about, like we're so happy to be like, oh man, we get to go straight back and play our original stuff and stay fresh overseas. You know? So yeah, and as Brennan said, you know, like now we're back in Australia. Like it's of course it's great being home and that, but I feel like we were making a bit of a buzz there, like that we're hoping to get back as soon as possible to sort of continue it on.
And I think the other thing was we were excited, like obviously we got voted on, which was cool because
yes, that's right.
We got our votes. You certainly got our votes, and everybody on Creatures Fest.
Thank you for that. So we had applied years prior with the same song, same video, and everything, and never got a look in. We'd always get the email. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful to the next round. So honestly, this year when it come up again to apply, I'm like, do I even bother? Like, is it worth like? You know, we just did Creatures Fest. We're happy with that, you know. But then something came over and I was like, I'll do it one more time. And I just put the same video because at the time we didn't have the new video out. So I was like, put the same video, same song, and just try like. And then a couple of weeks later, I get the message in my email and it's like, congratulations, you made it to the next round. And I'm like, it was like 8 a.m. or something like that. So I got back up prize. I was like, well, we might, you know. And then obviously with the Creatures Fest connection and all the fans we had met, I was like, oh, this could be our year. We might be. You know, like, and then, it kind of really helped that being at Creatures Fest sort of opened people's eyes to who we were. Obviously that did help to get us the votes to get on the cruise for week 2, which was, and like, it was just, the experience was just amazing. Yeah,
you could feel like when we talked to Plush already, and we talked to Black Sabbitch, and, you know, it was great for us. You know, I'm sure it may have been a bit of a challenge for you guys, but a lot of you guys played in those really small, like tight venues, which was kind of cool again as a spectator, because you're like right where everybody's like right on top of each other, really feeling, you know, part of the band, part of the sound. And because of that, you could really feel that buzz, you know, people talking. You know, like after your first show, like, holy shit, did you guys catch Sisters Doll? If you didn't, you got to make sure you check their second set. And it was the same thing with all those bands that were on the cruise. And I think that's the cool thing about the cruise is that these up and coming bands that people might not know fully you spend a week on a ship and you're playing 2-3 times and everybody's talking about it. And then you come off the cruise and it's like, okay, those bands were pretty kick-ass. I want to check them out even more. Could you guys could you guys feel that energy kind of like as you played your second, in your third set, that the crowd was like, okay, we're into this band now?
Yeah, 100%. Like even from the first show that we did, because like that was half the battle, kind of getting on the cruise, and then it's like the first thing we all said was like, oh God, where are we going to be performing, and is anyone going to show up?
Yeah,
and then
right.
And then we rock up to the first, I think it was Bliss, and God, right before we hit the intro and everything, it was like just an awesome sea of people, and it was like, this is unreal.
And it was quite daunting because when they sent the schedule out, like they had KISS, the Sail Away show, and then the first band performing after KISS on the boat deck was like us, like at 6 down in Bliss, and we're like, oh shit, what's going to happen? People just probably stay up on the deck and won't even bother coming down. But then when like Bryce said, the intro hit, and we had a look through the curtain, we're like, oh, it's quite full out there, and and we're just honored. Like obviously the stages were a little bit tight, and it was the roof line was low, but everyone was in the same position. So we would have loved to have like been up on the deck, not so much for the fact of it's bigger and whatever, but it would have been good to just so we could run around and get the little bit more, put a bit more of a show on, because you're a bit restricted, especially in that Magnum's bar. Like the roof was like here, and you kind of
I was just going to say, because we talked to Black Sabbitch because they played a show at Magnum's too, and the ceiling, there's like no movement at all, and you guys obviously are an energetic show. And at least Bliss, there was a little bit more room, but Magnum, it's like, whoop, you couldn't really move too much.
I hit my hand a couple of times. Did you hit
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to like raise your fist up, like rock out. Yeah. You're like, bang. Yeah, it was kind of tight.
It was more so for you guys, like the people watching, because we went around and watched a lot of the bands too on the spot. And the hardest part was if you weren't like first or second or third row, it was very hard to see like the drummer or
the view line. The
view line was quite hard. So that's the only reason we would have loved to have been on the deck, so people could actually witness it from like, oh, that's what they do, that's what they're doing, because a lot of people probably just in there and they could just listen, or they're just sitting back or whatever. But you said, the vibe in the rooms and the atmosphere, you couldn't beat it. So it was fun.
Through every night. And then the last night, we heard that, we saw him come down. Doc McGee come and watch the show for a bit. And
nice.
Awesome. Tommy Thayer was there, Eric Singer for a little minute, and
Sebastian Bach.
Sebastian Bach came too.
So just, that for us from being
great job, dudes. Yeah, you rocked. He was all over the place. Yeah. That's fun. Now, the funny thing is, so what's the place? Remember, what's that Chinese restaurant? Chin Chin,
right above Magnum. So you could,
So there was one time I think when you performed in Magnum, that I'm like, I think when we were having dinner or something, and I'm like, I can hear you guys blasting. I'm like, fuck, how long is this food gonna take? But you rock all the way up. So it's like, you know what? It's like dinner and a show. You can hear you, but I could hear you guys rocking. Now you played a couple KISS songs. I know you did an awesome version. I think it was Rise to It, right?
Yeah. We did Rise to It. We when we saw our set list and how long we could play for, we're like, we'll definitely chuck in a couple. And actually, when Bryce met with Eric actually at the hotel when they were here, he said, do a couple of KISS songs, because he said, which we had planned to do anyway, but he kind of, and we're like, are you allowed to do it? He goes, yeah. He said, I don't know why. He said, bands in the past have never done it. And he goes, it's stupid not to do it, he said. So we kind of took his advice. I'm like, all right. So each night we did 6 KISS songs. We did 2 each night. And and they're the only songs we sort of changed in the set, and we changed a couple of hours. But just to make it exciting for the fans, as well. And it was a bit of a way to sort of get people involved if they didn't know who we were on the cruise. At least if we chuck a KISS song in, probably 4 songs in, it kind of sparks their ears to go, I know this song. Let's go and check this out or whatever, So
or if they're walking by, they're like, holy shit, let's check this out.
Well, that's kind of the cool thing I was going to say about. I know that there were challenges performing at Bliss and Magnums, but the cool thing about those setups is that even if people weren't making a conscious decision to go see Sisters Doll, they have to walk by you to go to the bar or to go. So you get, because I could see this happened with Plush too, especially at Bliss. People would walk through Bliss to get to the other side, and a lot of times halfway through these sets, people were stopping. And not continuing to where they were going.
A clusterfuck too, because everybody was stuck.
They had to have security come and kind of figure out, because all of a sudden people would pass through and be like, oh shit, these, I didn't realize these guys were playing, or I didn't know who they were. Now I do. And so that's the good thing about those venues is, like, you know, unlike some of the other places, like this was like a pass through. So it kind of helped. It kind of helped your exposure to everybody else on the boat that may have not been familiar or whatever with your band. So I thought that was kind of a cool experience. I know that happened with us. There were a couple bands that were playing that we weren't 100% familiar with, but just passing through, be like, oh shit, these guys sound pretty awesome. Let's stay and finish watching the set. And the next thing you know, you're kind of a fan of the band. So I thought that was kind of neat.
And that's why we really took into account when we were on the ship. We didn't just lock ourselves away in our rooms or go to the artist lounge and stuff. We really wanted to mingle with people because actually, you know, we're still on the rise. You know, it's different if you're, you know, you're Bruce Kulick or Paul Stanley. You don't want to get hassled all day. But for us, it was about meeting people and saying, hey, come watch us, you know. And that's what we did at Creatures Fest too. We didn't have to be there every day mingling, walking around, but we wanted to do that because we like people, meeting people. And it's sort of like a way of, you know, getting people to know you and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to come see them. He stopped and chatted to me, or he's, you know, had a photo or whatever, you know, like, so it all helps. Yeah, it all helps.
All right. So I gotta mention this because you say you got to mingle and walk around. So the last night when we were talking at the bar, and I'm like, Tracy, or one of the, she's become a good friend. She was a listener. She wanted to jump in the cruise with us, was like, Zeus, I got to get myself a picture with the three brothers. I have to get System up. You guys would constantly be on the ship. I would see a brother every half an hour or something.
We never saw the three of you together.
Now, mind you, there are always some lovely females with you guys at all times, and you were never together. And I'm like, Tracy, Tracy, there's one right there. And but the other ones aren't with. I'm like, at the end of the night, the last night at the bar, I'm like, fuck it. There's one. Go get your picture. And I went up to Brent. I'm like, she wants to get a picture. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, Bryce was around the corner, but Austin was not around. And so she got a photo with you two. But it's the funniest thing because I would see you guys throughout the whole time on the ship, never together.
Yeah.
And always with the female. And you guys were like I don't know, the most sought after by all the females on that cruise. They loved you. I'm telling you, they all loved you. And they and it was just a funny thing because couldn't get you guys all together, but we came close. And we came close with you two guys at the end. I do got to mention, though, it's always interesting for me to see new bands that don't really know their discography and don't know their music well. And it's, you know, when you hear a band for the first time live, like, I don't know what they're playing. I don't know this song. Does it have a hook? Does it have a groove? Am I humming this? Am I thinking of this song after this is over? And I like your type of metal. It's like,
absolutely,
I would say what glam metal is your more your style, not like hardcore metal, or it wasn't like Black Label Society up there. You guys had a little bit more, I would say 80s style metal more so than anything else. And I'm like, this Black Mirror song, it's in my fucking head throughout the whole trip. And of course, I missed out on the merch, and I'm like, fuck, now I got to order this thing all the way from Australia. But I will. And a lot of your songs that I was like, oh, this thing's catchy. And catchy. That's my thing. I love that type of music, and you guys have it. And
thank you.
It's that groove. It's that, I call it a Paul Stanley hook. And I said, if my life depended, I say this all the time on the show, if my life depended on it, and I need one guy to write a song that I know I'm going to like, I would pick Paul Stanley, because there's some reason he knows how to write a hook, a catchy chorus. When you heard Bruce and them do Turn on the Night on the fucking cruise, and I said to Tom, I think that was my favorite part of everything on the cruise. Yeah. Just how the whole crowd is like, you don't hear that often. But
never.
And the whole crowd singing Turn on the Night. I'm like, that's such a an amazing song. I wish it got more love. But like, it seems like that's the kind of music you guys are producing, that kind of style. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely stuff that get the crowd involved, and just melody. Really, that's all we sort of focus on, is trying to have catchy hooks and something that does get stuck in people's heads. And you hope it does. When you write a song, you don't kind of think about that stuff. You just write what you think's working, and then but for you to say that means a lot. That's very cool. So thank you.
Did you guys have well, thank you so much for the time that you've given us. We'll get a couple more questions, and then we'll kind of let you guys get on with your day. It's already the daytime where you are.
No, it's actually Thursday where you are, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Thursday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's Wednesday at 6:47 p.m. here, buddy.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any interactions? We've asked everybody this. Any interactions or in any way with any of the members of KISS, with Paul or Gene? We did see Tommy spend a lot of times at some of the clubs. We saw Eric. I saw him at the Spinnaker. He went and checked out Richie Kotzen. But I did see a lot of Tommy. Did you guys have any time to spend with any of the members of KISS throughout the week?
We're hanging with a little bit with Paul Stanley a little bit.
Yeah, we were on stage on the deck actually, and we didn't know there was an artist area on that deck side until like the third day or something like that. So then we're like, we didn't know this place existed. So then we started hanging there more, and then Paul that one night came through, and he was just chilling there. And I was talking to his jewelry designer actually, or the lady that does the jewelry, and me and her were just chatting, and then the next minute Paul was like right up next to her chatting to her, and then we got a photo. And didn't see Gene at all. No. And we saw Eric. You saw Eric a few times.
I saw Tommy in the casino, I think he was.
Yeah, Tommy was pretty cool. He spent a lot of time just kind of hanging out, and he seemed really interested, which I thought was cool, about checking out you guys, a lot of the younger the up and coming bands, and hanging at Bliss and Magnum. And he was gracious. And obviously we always see Todd and Zach, and at the end of the cruise, Zeus and I and a couple of our friends spent, God, I don't know, 30 minutes at least with Brent Fitz, just kind of shooting the shit with him, talking about KISS and the cruise. And it's just it's such a great experience. I mean, for example, look at us right here, just kind of, we don't really know each other, and here we are just talking about your band and the cruise and the experience. And it's we talk about this all the time for all the fun that we have with KISS. They really do bring people. I mean, we're in the United States. You're in Australia. It's a day away, and here we are, kind of enjoying the same band. It's actually pretty awesome. What do you guys have? What do you guys have planned now? I know the holidays are coming up. You guys taking a break? What's next for Sisters Doll?
Yeah, to finish the third album, so we've released the first single off that, which was Prisoner, and so we've just finish off the last little bits and pieces of the album, and then we'll be doing a few single releases up until the release of the album. And like I said, we actually, coming home this time, we really have thought to ourselves, we'd really love to get over there full time.
Absolutely,
give it a crack. I don't know where we would go. We got a lot of research, and
Boston is really good.
Yeah, we've heard that. Yeah.
Boston has a gigantic music. I mean, a band like Aerosmith started here. Yeah. So I mean, it's a huge place. So plus we're here too. So that's
so we can come catch your gigs all the time, man.
Exactly.
So the main aim is to try and find a good agent over there that's willing to sort of get on board and want to maybe work with us. And we would love to just come over and push the third album, because we do think it's probably our strongest stuff we've released.
Yep.
And that's kind of the plan at the moment.
There's a couple of festivals coming up.
A couple
over here in Australia early next year. But apart from that, we're kind of just working on the album.
Yeah, are you guys involved? Isn't there like something called like the Glam Fest or something with like Faster Pussycat and those kind of like you guys are on that, correct?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay.
So that'll be a bit of fun. Yeah. There's a lot of bands from over there coming over. So and a few we've played with before. So it's going to be it'll be a fun little trip. It's only a 4-day run, but it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be good.
Nice.
Now I got to ask you guys a question. You're three brothers. I have an older brother that's 3 years older than me. If I'm around him more than 5 minutes, he's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Growing up, are you guys always been this cool, or was it ever like, God damn it, get out of here, my little brother. I don't want to hang out with you. Or you guys always been like loving and friendly, or is there a little bit sometimes, you know,
Well, you saw us on
you're
the
not
cruise.
Oasis, right? I'm assuming, right?
Right.
You saw us on the cruise. We were never together.
That's true. Yeah, there's your answer. It's a good point.
So
we're pretty close, but we're good that way. Like
we've been in a band together too. We've like really learned each other's limits. You know what I mean? As well. Like
I've had enough of your shit. Like, all right, fucking, I'm out of here.
Staying in tiny little rooms for hours and stuff. Like we've kind of learned like how to piss each other off, and we don't go there. So,
you know,
nice.
We kind of know each other's limits, and we're pretty close. Like we've been lucky. We've grew up together, and we've all got the same interests. But we're all different as well. So it's not like you know, like if we were probably strangers, we probably wouldn't be friends. But because we're brothers, you know, what I mean. Like
you got that bond. Yeah. Now, where you?
Go ahead, Zeus. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. So if we always want to plug you guys. So where would people go? You know, plug away your social media account, a website. Where can people get Sisters Doll music?
Yeah, sistersdollband.com is the main source, and you've got all our links on there, which will take you to our Instagram, Facebook, and we're very active on our socials. So if you write comments or write messages, we generally get back to everyone as much as we can.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
Yeah, just share the love. Hopefully,
Spotify as well. The new single's out as well, so stream that. iTunes, YouTube. The music video for that single is out. All the usual shit.
But you know
awesome.
What? So we just did we have a side cast. We call it Dorm Damage. And we just we had a conversation because it started on the cruise. We were talking about Spotify and physical products for a new band versus, you know, the Eagles putting out a CDs and what they make on Spotify and all this stuff. And we just had an episode we just dropped, just a back and forth. I'm curious hearing it from you, a young band. So you're like, yeah, we have a single. It's on Spotify and things like that. Do you have an opinion on the whole, you know, physical copy versus Spotify? Does it help you? Does it hurt you? You think Spotify in as a young band?
In this day and age, it's hard because I think in this day and age, like you kind of need the streams and the Spotify does really help, I think. But we've still got that old school mentality where like we're still gonna print CDs and vinyl's really big.
As you can see, I love my CDs. So I'm glad you put your new album will come out on CD.
Definitely, And I think the main thing as well, if people like to take something home with them, like that's why we printed up some CDs just of our single, which is pretty rare to do these days, and it's kind of pointless. But at least at the cruise, people could like take something home and be like, oh, you've got to check this band out, rather than go home and be like, oh, what was that band's name again? Oh, they're on Spotify, I think. Let me go look. But at least if they've got something physical that they've
the physical stuff is great for our live shows. So, you know, you have it at the merch stand, and like Brendan said, it's something they can take home after, even if it's a new fan, then they've got something to take home to be like, oh, that's that band I saw, you know what I mean? And you get to stay stuck in your head. But and in regards to your Spotify's and stuff like that, like I guess unfortunately for like a new band, like that's what like I guess record labels or hierarchies in the music industry, that's what they're looking for, how many streams you have, how many listen and all that stuff. So being an up-and-coming band or a new band, like
it's important.
That's important. You've got to kind of
you got to play the game, it seems like. Whether you like it or not, you got to do it.
Exactly. Like, yes, I'd love to just do physical copies of everything, but that's how it is these days. You know, you need the streams and the downloads, and that's what people look at these days.
And once it's out there, unfortunately, it doesn't matter where it is, because you could be that person say, I'm not putting on Spotify, I'm not putting on YouTube, I'm not doing anything. But all you need to do is sell one physical, and someone else can put it out there, and it's out there forever anyway. So you might be the one doing it
yourself.
So
that's true. But like Zeus and I said when we were having that discussion, both of us. So I'm the vinyl guy. I'm old school vinyl. You know, like Zeus is CDs. But I'm a Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora streaming guy. But I supplement that with the physical product for two reasons. Like you said, it's nice to have something to hold. Like something tangible to celebrate the band, to honor the band. But you can't deny the convenience of streaming, whether you're going whether you're going for a drive or a run or whatever, but having that physical copy, I think, is huge. And like you said, especially at a merch booth, like you said, having a t-shirt is nice, but having that CD and being like, oh yeah, these guys are pretty awesome, I'm going to throw this in and listen to it. I think it's important. Yeah.
I think streaming, the best thing about streaming that I love is if you are a collector of CDs on vinyl, you don't even open them. You just keep them as your collection and just listen to Spotify. So you've got a pristine, perfect copy of the CD that you don't have to even open because you've already got it on your phone.
That's right.
So that's what I think of it.
All my CDs go into my iTunes library, which goes into my phone. I never sit there, but we'll do an album review. So let's say we get Your Sister's Doll CD. I still want to open it up and see what it says.
Exactly.
And look at the liner notes and read it. And then I put it on my phone and I want to be able to listen to it in the car or whatever. I get the convenience of it. But to me, I wish they never came out like this. I wish we were still stuck in the CD vinyl kind of era and we didn't have this. But, you know, and I feel for artists because my argument was I feel you guys get really, you know, taken advantage of by what Spotify pays out to artists for all their plays. Hey, I got 10 million plays. Great. You made $400. I don't know what the thing is, but like to me, you know, the old days of going to the record store, buying that person's, you know, CD. I know the cut isn't 100% to the artist, but you know, they're getting a hell of a lot more money buying their, you know, CD or vinyl than, you know, press and play on your Spotify list.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I was going to say. Yeah, like definitely. Yeah, we're losing a bit for sure. Like when people stream it.
And the sad thing is as well is like we went to the KISS Monster Mini Golf in Vegas and you see all the platinum albums of KISS on the wall and stuff like that. And you're like, I don't even think that's a thing now because you get 1 million streams and I don't even know if you get anything for that these days.
Exactly.
If those bands or these artists were back then in them times, you know, everyone would be a platinum selling artist. You know?
Exactly. It doesn't mean the numbers don't mean anything. So all those artists that have like those KISS has the most gold records anymore. Well, who's going to beat that?
Yeah,
right? Nobody anymore because they're not selling. I know this is one last question you forgot to ask, but I'm shocked. But I'm going to ask them. So are you going to have like colored vinyl for this new album? Because Tom has to get something that's either orange, you know, if he wants to listen to something that's blue.
I gotta get I prefer when they do the swirl. That way it's all the colors all in one.
I give him shit all the time because I'm like, why the fuck does it matter? Like, I want to hear something blue, so I'll grab this colored vinyl.
But see, then I give him shit because at least I listen to my vinyl. He doesn't even listen to his CD. He puts it in his computer and then it goes on the shelf.
No, and I put it on my phone. I know, but I still like to have the copy. So are you doing colored vinyl?
I haven't thought about it, but I think we would. We definitely got the KISS mentality, though. We do like to do the whole
and you have a big KISS contingency of fans. They love that shit. I'm telling you, if you do it, I bet you.
The one problem, and we have one of our cabin mates on the cruise, Tony. He's in a band called Restrained. Hard rock, like metal band.
Yeah, you guys beat him out. He would try to get on the cruise too. So don't worry about him.
That is true.
Don't worry about him.
But we did talk to him about you know a vinyl, and right now it is so goddamn expensive to press. So that's why it's a challenge for younger bands or up and coming bands to produce vinyl the way it is because the pressing plants. You know, a vinyl's $30-$40 where you can pump out a bunch of CDs and charge $15-$16. So it's a big challenge for vinyl right now.
Oh, it is. And you got to get big quantities to get the price down, but then you might be left with all these quantities. So yeah, for us to get like, say 200 vinyl done in Australia at the moment, you're looking at probably like, maybe like $6,000 or $7,000, depending on like, and that's an upfront fee you have to pay. And then you've got to try and sell X amount to like make it worth. And
they make it KISS-like though. You make it KISS-like. So you do 100 albums, limited edition, and then you put like some sort of like character figure for each one of the brothers. Like, I got to get this one, and then it becomes a collector's thing. And then you go on the KISS cruise and only exclusive on the KISS cruise, and watch how fast they'll sell out on the cruise.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what we're gonna have fingers crossed. Hopefully, we get invited back for 2024.
Oh, we hope so too. We hope so too, guys.
We were kind of like laughing about it. The fuck is a KISS cruise without KISS playing? But now we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Who cares? They're playing the outdoor show. Who cares?
Yeah.
We've seen the indoor show. There'll be a lot of fun bands, a lot of fun people. You know, now it's like a family on these cruises. Everybody knows everybody. So,
and I was telling people my experience of the cruise because I've never been on one before, but it just reminds me of a 21st birthday party that goes for 5 nights, and you don't want to go to bed because you don't want to miss out.
Perfect.
Well said.
It's a great example. Guys, thank you so much. This has been a blast. We appreciate your time, your stories. We're so happy that you guys are rising from Creatures Fest to the KISS Cruise to who knows what's next. Obviously, it's going to be great things. So we're super excited that you joined us. Brennan, Bryce, Austin, they are Sisters Doll. They are from Australia. Check them out. They kick ass live and on Spotify and on the physical product. They're awesome. Check them out. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
this has been a lot of fun.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, Tom and Zeus. We really appreciate it.
All right, joining us here, another member of one of the standout bands on the KISS Cruise. We loved seeing them play. We have lead guitarist and songwriter from the L.A. Maybe, Dallas Dwight is joining us here. Dallas, thanks for joining us on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Yeah, Tom Zeus, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. I already listened to the recap episode, so I am primed and ready.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, but all right, we'll take it, right?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. So what we do is we always ask these questions. They're called the Murph questions, and they're simple stuff about KISS. We're going to make this nice and easy for you. So it can always be right now, or it could be growing up. It could be whatever. So first question, favorite KISS member?
Favorite KISS member, Gene Simmons. Easy.
There you go. That's the good answer.
Easy one.
You know what? I think you're the first of all the bands we've had that
said
said
Gene.
Gene's throughout
I'm the first one that's right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Look at Tom's the Gene guy. I'm the Peter guy.
We've had people say Eric Singer, Eric Carr, Ace, Peter, Paul. I think you're the first person from the cruise.
At least
interviews
from
we've done.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, for this.
All,
Yeah.
all the disciples, right? John,
Yeah.
Peter, Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how it works. Favorite KISS song?
I'll say, I guess, I'll say God of Thunder. I'll say God of Thunder.
Oh, okay, nice.
Love it. Now,
Yep.
I think
Although I heard for the so I'm not the biggest KISS fan. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't have
It's okay.
the depth of knowledge, but when they played War Machine on the boat, it was the first time I'd ever heard that song.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, dude, they got some riffs, so some heavy riffing. I love it.
You know that
remember when
is. You know that's Brian Adams that helped him write that one, isn't it?
No, I didn't know that.
Yep, Brian Adams helped write War
Yeah.
Machine. Yep.
That Brian Adams.
What a good riff though. I love seeing it. And some of the deeper tracks I have since the cruise gone a little bit deeper into their catalog.
Yeah.
Because my knowledge was very Lick It Up, Rock and Roll All Night,
It's all good.
Yep. That's
pretty
okay.
much 4 or 5 songs deep.
But because this was new to you, I'm curious because it makes me like the song more. Tom laughs at me all the time. So when you see them and they always put the video up for War Machine, and you see those like robots come up, and you see the dragon is constantly circling, is blowing the fire, and when they sing the chorus War Machine, doesn't that entice the song and make it stand out?
Yeah, it was interesting. At first I thought it was a little cheesy, and then I realized I couldn't take my eyes off of it. So I was like,
exactly.
I guess
KISS know, and they know that.
Yeah.
Now you're from North Carolina?
I'm originally from South Carolina, but yeah.
But the Carolinas, right?
Yep,
So
exactly.
Wrestling is big there, right?
Not to me and my family, but yes.
Wow,
it is big.
but it is big, right? In that area, the Carolinas.
Wrestling and NASCAR. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Wrestlers used to come out to that song. That's why. That's where I was going. To War Machine. People come out like this. It's a badass song to play behind you coming out.
We have a new song called Down to Fight. I'm hoping a few wrestlers and UFC chat.
Pass it around.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right. Do you have a favorite KISS album?
Dude, I don't even know if I could tell you a KISS album, but you know what? What's one of is it Sonic Boom? And I know
Sonic Boom.
That's a newer one. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say it's my favorite, but I do remember getting that one in like Best Buy or something the year it came out.
It was Walmart. It was exclusive.
Yeah, there it is. What year was that? Like 2011, 12, somewhere around there.
That was
9.
It was it 08, 09? Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
it was 9. Yes.
And then
I think.
12 was Monster. Yeah.
That was around the time I could drive, and I was into rock, and I went and I got the KISS.
Yeah.
I listened to it, and I thought the song "Never Enough" was a perfect rip-off of
Nothing But a Good Time.
But a Good Time mixed with "Lick It Up."
Yeah. Okay.
They perfectly ripped off themselves.
Yeah. It's definitely.
Yep.
Nothing wrong
Have you
with
been to any KISS concerts?
Not other than the boat. That was my first time.
So the next question was how many KISS concerts? So I'm assuming that's 2.
2.5. Yeah.
Nice. And so what? Tell us. We always like to get people's first impression, even if they're not huge KISS fans or not KISS fans, all casual. What was your impression of the? Did you get to see the Sail Away show on the pool deck?
I watched a little bit of it. Yep.
Okay, and then what was your impression of the indoor the makeup show? Obviously, smaller scale. No bombs, no blood, no fire and stuff.
I figured I was getting definitely a scaled down Kiss show. Not all the stuff that they're famous for. But it was still really cool. I don't know if for me, I think so much of Kiss is that spectacle, and for me, I don't know if you remove the spectacle, I don't know how much is left, in my opinion. But it was just there's definitely that star power of standing there looking at four guys that have changed rock and roll forever. And
that's an interesting comment. I like talking to people that aren't like diehard Kiss fans, because they kind of give you that kind of general outsider perspective. So it's kind of interesting how you said taking away the spectacle. Because Zeus and I have kind of talked about that, and sometimes some of our listeners have talked about that. Like, is it just like kind of, all sizzle, no steak, or like what is it when you pull that spectacle away? So I thought that was that's an interesting observation by you.
I won't say this for Kiss, but I was reading one of the new books that came out. The book's called Nothing But a Good Time. It's
we read that. Great book
of 80s stuff, and which is my favorite. Guns N' Roses is my favorite band, so I'm the Guns N' Roses.
Awesome.
There it is. That's the one.
Yep.
So in that book, they talk about specifically Motley Crue and Wasp, and how they are both terrible bands. But they were doing such crazy stuff on stage that everyone was like, cool, we're coming back next week. And it was just like, it grew that way. And they never really were a good band.
Yep.
Just had the spectacle that people couldn't look away from, So it's like, eventually it's like, okay, 40 years later, we're millionaires. And, it's like, I guess we did.
Yeah. I don't think Wasp are millionaires, but I would say Kiss. There was a VH1 show one time. They were doing like hair metal, what they deem hair metal wrap up. And I remember them talking about Wasp, and somebody in the band was saying like, they would throw out like meat and shit to the crowd. Right. Yep. And then someone threw like a frozen, like fucking rump roast or something on stage, and it knocked one of them out. And then one of them was like, you know what? If we wrote better songs, we wouldn't have to do this shit. And
Motley Crue was in the same boat, but I definitely won't go so far as to put Kiss in that same category. Kiss is obviously much earlier and
more innovators than
legends. You can't. You reach a legendary status, you get a lot of hall passes. I think.
Do you get do you have a favorite Kiss memory? Anything, maybe growing up, or maybe meeting somebody in the band?
No, never meeting anyone. But when I got into Kiss, I had the 5 songs on my iPod or whatever, the very first iPod. And I would sit around and play video games and listen to those 5 songs. And I was one of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games at the time.
Oh, so okay.
Always associated those songs with Tony Hawk.
And on the original iPod, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or
that's definitely nostalgia right there.
Nice.
Xbox One, the original one or whatever. But
yeah. So tell us. So we had part of our little extravaganza here. We've had Black Sabbitch, Plush, Sisters Doll, and you're representing the L.A. maybe. So tell us a little bit about before we get into the cruise. Tell us about your band, your background, because we saw you guys on the cruise. We had heard about you. We're very good friends. We're very good friends with our buddies Steven and Sonny. They have a rock podcast called Grown Up Rock, and they had mentioned you guys before. And I was like, oh, I think I've heard of these guys. But then when we saw they were going to be on the cruise, we're like, that's them. We checked you guys out a bunch of times. You guys blew up the place. Some of the other bands we've talked to, unfortunately, some of those venues are tiny, like that little Magnum's place. And but tell us about your band, the background, how you ended up even getting on the cruise and that experience.
Sure. Well, we're the L.A. maybe. We're from Charlotte, North Carolina. And we started a few years ago. We were kind of part of a Journey tribute band. So we ended up deciding So kind of took the pandemic and wrote and recorded our album, and then came out guns blazing after that. And then our publicist sent me a link to the KISS soundcheck the cruise soundcheck. I didn't know KISS had cruises. This is out of the loop I was.
Yeah.
And I was like, we'll submit to this. We've submitted to a few of these things before. Nothing ever happens. Just no harm in sending a video or whatever they asked for. So they asked for a live video, I think was all they asked for. Mm-hmm. So we had just finished our first UK tour, which was in May. And so we sent them a nice pro shot video that someone had made of that. And then, weeks go by, we don't hear anything. And then we get an email saying like, hey, you're in the top 15.
Nice.
So the sound check competition, as far as I understood it, and we went through every process, was Sixth Man and I guess KISS as well, to some degree, just picked 15 of the God knows how many hundreds or thousands of bands that submitted. So we ended up in the top 15, and then it opens up to the public to vote to bring it down to 10. And then that 10 goes down to 6, and there were 3 on each week.
Wow.
So each, we just boom, 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 went up the list and just check every time. And then ended up on the boat, which was really cool. And then when we knew we were going to LA for the cruise, we booked a show at the Whiskey the night before. So we played with Power
nice.
5000 and
cool.
Out there and did that. Yep. And did the whole Sunset Strip experience. Ate lunch at the Rainbow and walked to the Guitar Center and all that stuff. So it was super fun.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys were the first band, I think, of the newer bands that I wasn't familiar with that I heard. I remember you were like, oh, Steve and all these guys are at this place. We're checking out LA maybe. And I came down and you guys are already kind of situated near the bar, Tom.
Yep.
And I came down. I'm like, who the fuck is this band? And I remember, that's
the best compliment. Every time we play a show in front of people, we get a ton of people coming up after being like, why the fuck don't I know who you are?
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
That's what it was. It sounded like a band that's paid its dues, knows its shit, and just, you know what? You guys never heard us, but get ready to get your fucking mind blown.
Yeah, we definitely have paid our dues individually. I mean, we're all music teachers. We've all been in bands. We've all been around the scene. But this band, we've only been a band for 2 years or so. So, but when we come together, we were very intentional about rehearsals, about where we want to make sure we practice, which is one of the things is I was telling people you could debate, all day long who played better on the boat, but it's indisputable that we had more energy than anyone else on that boat.
You got
I would probably
honestly
second that.
Yeah. I mean, that first show, it is so funny because it's 5 of you, and at that small stage outside of Magnum's, on that lower level, it was so funny because the place was packed. Everybody was jamming out. You guys are rocking out, and you're all the place was so tight. We talked to Sisters Doll about that too. But the one good thing about that venue is because it's part of what they call Bar Alley on the ship.
Yeah, it's the atrium area. Yep.
Exactly. Even people that may not have been familiar that weren't consciously going to see your show, it was unavoidable. And you guys, I could see people just being sucked in by your performance, your presence, including me. I mean, in one of the descriptions we read about you guys, it was kind of like, a little bit of Guns N' Roses, a little bit of Black Crowes, and that's what it is.
Yeah, we definitely go for that. It's funny. My hair kept getting stuck in the light in the ceiling.
Oh no!
To put that in perspective.
Yeah, but, it was tight fit there, brother. It was tight fit.
Yeah, for sure. And there used to be 6 of us, but now there's only 5, so that's good. But there was it was definitely we went there and we had lots of discussions beforehand. Like, look, we're going on this boat. We're there to do a thing. Let's do that thing and let's leave, having not left anything on the table. So we feel really good about that.
Absolutely.
Now, did you get a chance to, did you mingle with all the artists? Did you get to see other bands? How did you use your free time while you're on the boat?
I love that question. We were, because we were so excited to be, we had a lot of downtime. So yeah, we did this thing called just walk the boat. So we just go out and just start walking, and we couldn't get 20, 30 feet before meeting someone or finding someone or getting into trouble somewhere with something,
Yep.
So we, and of course we made fast friends with a ton of the other bands. We spent most of the boat with ladies from Black Sabbitch. We went out in Ensenada and Cabo and all this stuff with them. So
nice.
But that I don't know if you guys made it down there, but there's that lounge right by Magnum's called Azura or Azura or whatever.
Yep.
And that was that was converted to the artist lounge. So that's where all the artists hung out and stuff. So we were in there with, Sebastian Bach, Richie Kotzen, Zach Wilde, and then, all the other bands, Plush and all that stuff. So,
you said Sebastian, so I get to do my impression. Hey, dudes, come back here, man. We got some beers.
Here's my impression. He walks in and he goes, "Who are you guys?" And we go, "We're the LA Maybe." And he goes, "Maybe? There's nothing maybe about rock and roll, man."
I can picture that. I can totally picture that.
He goes, "You guys are the LA for sure." And then he walks.
Oh no. That is awesome.
We've been on this boat for 20 minutes and Sebastian Bach renamed our band. Sounds good.
Well, actually, that's a great segue, because speaking of your band name, tell us about your band name.
Sure. Yeah, it was a phrase I heard. I was sitting in the Chicago airport, O'Hare,
Okay.
Someone behind me, you're sitting at the gate or whatever. And I heard someone say, she gave me the old LA maybe. And I thought that's so perfect. I love that phrase. So I texted the band chat and I was like, guys, we're going to be the LA maybes with an S. And then my drummer was like, let's just drop the S. So we dropped the S and then ended up, I didn't think it would be so much of a point of discussion, but goddamn, everyone we talked to is like, what's the name? Tell me about the name. Tell me. And I mean, being on the street to being at the whiskey, to being on the cruise, to being, doing interviews like these, it comes up every time. So it's like,
but that's awesome because it's a unique name. It's a catchy name. It's a memorable name. When the
I had this exact same conversation with Eric Singer on the last night.
Oh, really?
See, another one. Everybody was saying like that we've talked to. They have these stories of like all these other artists, young bands that they would meet Eric, and Eric was so down to earth and talking to all the bands, especially with the other drummers and stuff. That he was so for us, we don't see that side. Eric is very private person. But anytime you hear about
he's the most public out of the four, I would say for sure.
But he's not on social media is what I'm saying. Like, so that side of him doesn't come out. But anybody that has stories always like talk about, he's wicked friendly. He's wicked open.
Really nice guy. Really nice guy. I have a few funny KISS Kruise stories for you guys.
All right, let's hear them, brother.
That's why you're here.
So first of all, listening to your guys' recap was so cool because I loved hearing the fan perspective because I've never gone on a KISS Kruise.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to expect, but you guys have been on a couple at least, right?
This is our second one. Yeah. So they get easier and better for like once you get on them, it makes it for like you're not wasting time. You know where to go. You know when to go eat. You know how much break you have before you need to see another show. It's very helpful.
Exactly. We're at the airport gate to fly out to LA, and a family walks up and goes, "You guys are the LA maybe." We're like, "Oh yeah, hey, what's up?" We start talking to him. How many cruises have you been on? And the guy rolls up his sleeve and he's got a date for every single KISS.
Oh man.
He's been on all 11. We're like, okay, that's
we
cool.
have a name for that.
11 cruises. That's
it was pretty insane. But they had made it like a family thing. Like the kids were like 21, 22, and they'd been going since they were like 11.
That's kind of cool. All right. Family.
Kids had, like grown up doing it. So it was kind of cool. Okay, so here's the story of Paul Stanley stiff arming my drummer.
Oh no, here we go. First of all, before you get going, anything involving Paul Stanley, we love on this show.
And they're always awkward stories. All right.
You guys, I listened to you guys talk about you were in the Songs and Stories with the Star Child. I was also in there. So that was
okay.
Cool.
So you got to see were you the dick that the guy he called a prick? Stop filming me.
We walked in probably 15 minutes after it started, and we were in the very top balcony just
okay.
But so down in the pool deck, if you're looking at the pool stage, over on the right side, cordoned off is the artist area.
Yeah.
So that's where we could, and if you came out by the buffet, you could actually cut behind the stage and walk back to get back there. So you didn't have to go through the front. So most of the time we're over there watching the shows because it's just a little more space, a little easier.
Yeah, of course.
And pretty much every time I'm over there, Paul Stanley's standing next to me because he was over there. To his credit, I think he saw every fucking band that played. Like he was
that's
all
cool.
out looking at bands.
Yeah.
So I wasn't here for this, but I've heard the story told enough times that I can definitely retell it. My other guitar player was Foz, our drummer. He's standing there, and Paul Stanley comes out, and he's smiling. He's jovial. He's appearing to be in a good mood. It's like the last day. It's the last Sebastian Bach show or whatever.
Yeah.
So Foz goes, I'm gonna ask him for a picture. So
oh no. He
goes, hey, can I get a picture? And Paul says, thanks. And he's like, that's weird. He must not have heard me. Because that's all that Foz heard. There was music playing and everything. So he goes to reach in and be like, could I get a picture? And Paul Stanley slaps his arm away and goes, not right now.
Ooh. First of all, I like the beginning of the story when he says he appeared to be in a good mood.
Yeah. Well, because you're always, somebody walks out looking cranky, like you're going to leave him the fuck alone.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm not going to be that guy that's like, sign my shirt. I'm not.
Yeah.
So then here's the best part. 15 seconds later, he's got his arms around two ladies taking a picture with her.
Oh, no. Come on. See, this is the stories. This is what we want to hear.
So funny.
So this was your drummer. So did your drummer just walk away like completely like dejected and like,
No,
oh shit?
He's fine.
Yeah.
None of us are like huge KISS fans. I mean, we love KISS and respect the legacy, of course. But as far as being like a crazy fan, it's just not us. So it was kind of like, that's a rock legend.
Do you think that he thought he was a fan? Or he must have known he was an artist. Like
he was. If he was back there, he had to.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
artist, right?
I'm trying to give
because there was definitely a lot of hangers-ons that managed to get back there. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we found two hot girls going around take photos. Maybe he thought it was just a fan or something. But even then,
I saw him interact with other artists, and he was very, very friendly and very nice.
Yeah. Hey, I just spent $5,000. I see Paul Stanley. You take a photo with me? Fuck off, kid.
Yeah, I heard he essentially told some kid that when he tried to get him to sign his guitar, and their dad.
Yeah,
their dad and the kid were at all of our shows, and they loved us to death. And we were into him all the time. We were talking to him a lot. The very last night, we run into him at the buffet, and the dad just goes on a tirade like, "Fuck that guy! I'll never buy another fucking thing." And he just had it, and we were just like, "Hey, man, that sucks. Like, sorry."
Oh, so was he the guy that you're talking about? Because they were asking Paul questions at that show. Somebody had the guitar.
I think that was him, but I was up in the balcony. I couldn't see anyone asking questions.
So what the guy said, so Paul like cuts him off before he asks this question.
Mm-hmm.
Goes,
"You're gonna ask.
So you got a guitar. You're gonna ask me to sign that, aren't you?"
Mm-hmm.
And he did the Jedi mind trick. And the guy's like, no, what is your favorite tour? Like he changed the question. And then I saw him come down and kind of go over near where a lot of people where Paul was standing or sitting, but I didn't see him like, "Oh, hey, can you sign this?" And Paul never was like, "Come here."
No, they did. Apparently, they did after.
Okay.
So that's, I guess, when I signed that guitar. Everybody signed that guitar, but it was he had I was there when he got Gene to sign it because Gene walked through our sound check, just like going somewhere doing something.
Yeah.
It was just us in the room, and then here comes Gene Simmons with like his security guys, and that kid just happened to be walking by at the same time. It was just like the most serendipitous thing. He was like, "Oh my god!"
Wow!
And he's just carrying his guitar around with him the whole.
He carried that guitar everywhere he went, and that was a heavy guitar. That was not a light guitar.
That was definitely that kid.
Yeah.
Little kid, long hair.
Yes. Yeah.
Him and his dad were so nice.
Dude, you just spent all this money to be on the KISS cruise. Why would you cut him? Also expect you, because I get it. Then everyone's going to run up and, "Hey, Paul, can you sign this?" But he's up there, one guy in front of everybody. You're going to cut him off? Wow.
Yeah, it's
that's tough.
It's got to be, and I do sympathize as much as I can with someone in Paul Stanley's position, where just being around him and the other guys for the little bit of time we were on the cruise, it was really crazy to witness. Every time they turn their head, there's a flock of people that want something from you.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just everywhere you go, it's take.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever giving anything. It's just sign this, do this, listen to me tell you this story, and it's just like, dude, like. I couldn't do it. Like I can't deal with that. Like I don't have to, but I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah. Right.
So it's amazing. It's amazing how they can get through it. But I actually really love Paul Stanley's. It seems he's developed this tactic where he'll just stand there and stare at you.
Oh yes. No, he has like a very uncomfortable. Yeah, he has like a very uncomfortable way of like getting you to like stop talking.
Yeah, those are the type of people that outstare you and make you so uncomfortable. You're like, all right, I got to look away. I can't fucking do this.
I love that. Yeah, I started doing a version of that with the fist bump. So whenever whenever someone at the end of the night, "Hey, great show," they go for a handshake, I go for a fist bump, and I'll just stand there. I'll just stand there until they do the fist bump. I will not open up. Like,
get your fucking sweaty hands off me. I know what you mean. That's funny. Now you had one more, you said?
Yeah. So, this is less of a story and more of just a cool thing.
Okay.
So me and my other guitar player are sitting down in the artist lounge, and this two middle-aged ladies are sitting there with us, and we're talking. We're having a great time, and they're hilarious. They're having fun. We talk, whatever. Good night. See you guys later. Hopefully we'll see you around the ship. The next day, we're up in the buffet getting some food, and we run into them, and they're eating lunch. So we're like, "Oh, let's eat lunch together." So we sit down, start talking. And I finally asked her, "What do you do?" They're both named Sherry, so we called them the Sherrys.
Yeah.
And and they were one was a lady and one was her sister-in-law. So they were like kind of related. And so start talking to Sherry and find out that was Doc McGee's right-hand man for his entire career. So 40 years of managing. This lady managed KISS, Motley Crue,
Bon Jovi. Imagine.
Yeah.
She's discovered Sebastian Bach for Skid Row, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so we just ended up just hitting it off and hanging out with her. She was who we went. She took us to the Songs with Star Child thing, all that stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
And so, I mean, she was only on the boat because Paul Stanley had invited her entire family because they've known each other for decades.
Wow.
So,
interesting.
Crazy to just run into random people like that. And we'd run into people like that all the time. We ran into the guy that owned the Fox Theater in L.A.
Yep.
People that worked with Sturgis, just all over the place. Just everywhere you turn, there was someone walking up to us who was like, in some way. So
now,
go
ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Zeus. Finish.
So I was just going to say, did you have any favorite artists that you saw on there, or any artist that came up to you afterwards and was like, guys, I fucking loved your show, and vice versa?
Yeah, we loved everybody, but of course it was amazing seeing Sebastian Bach. And then Sebastian Bach pulled Goliath up on stage.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. That was great.
We were in the preface to that moment was we're in the elevator with Sebastian Bach, his wife, kid, his whole crew, and then me and Foz, our drummer. And because we were all talking in the thing, and we're all like, oh, let's go see Bruce Kulick. So we all go up together. And Sebastian Bach turns around in the elevator and points to me and goes, are you the guy that sings Monkey Business as good as I do? And I said, no, that's my singer. I'll introduce you though.
Yeah.
Because we played Monkey Business all three of our sets.
Yes.
Yep.
I love that song. You guys killed it.
So we get up there and I introduce him to Goliath, and he leans down in Goliath's ear and goes, dude, you are fucking awesome. I was like, that was a fun moment to witness. And then when he plays Monkey Business, Goliath was standing right there at the stage. And of course he recognized him. So he was like, get up here. You know this song. So he pulled him up, and it was really
so
fun.
that wasn't like a planned thing. He kind of just looked at Goliath and just pulled him up.
Yeah, he just noticed him standing there, and he was like, "Get up here." So,
damn, that's pretty.
That's a cool moment that his ego isn't like bothered by that. It's like, no, fucking come share the stage.
We were like going back and forth. Like, is he the guy that's going to come like storming down the hall and yelling like, "Stop playing my song"? Like, he has, he definitely has a reputation of being a rock star. And just throughout the entire time we were around him and every interaction we saw with him and that we had ourselves, he was just so pleasant and nice and funny, man. He's so funny.
Oh, yeah,
we saw him a couple times, and we were in that line in Cabo to get into the place. We're like, fuck this is going to take hours. So we're going to go right into the merch. And all of a sudden, who walks in?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He walks in. Hey, guys. And he fucking cuts everybody. We're like, what the fuck?
That's what we did too. Here's how dumb we are. We're used to like not getting any VIP treatment.
Yeah.
So getting on the boat, we're just standing in line with our gear and everything, standing there.
Like
and
us.
Finally, we see a sixth man person, and one of us goes like, "Should we ask? There's got to be like a different entrance. Like, there's no way like Sebastian Bach and Zakk Wylde are in this line. So like, let's go ask." And they were like, "Oh yeah, the artist entrance. Come over here." And like, we just skipped the entire line and walked in.
Nice.
Like, oh, okay,
there you go.
Didn't even think to ask for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught him in the elevator with his wife and kid. And he's like, "Cool shirt, dude." I'm like, "Can I get a photo?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I got longer arms." He takes my phone. Yeah, he's just, and the whole the fun part about it is like that whole story of like he was supposed to be on the cruise last year, and it's a mystery as why he didn't make it.
It's not a mystery. There was it's not a mystery. He had problems with his passport.
Yeah,
that's
something.
forgetting
it or something like that.
Yeah.
And then this time one of the sixth man guys was like, because we're really close with all those guys now too. And he was like, yeah, he almost didn't make it on the boat this time because his passport was in his luggage and his luggage was checked.
Oh,
Jesus. They had to go like find his luggage and like bring it back out. And then like,
dude, what
poor Sebastian.
Yeah.
Well, I know we talked about the cruise. Tell us now, you have one album out.
Yep. Like 1.5. We have
you have some a single out, correct, right now?
Yeah, we have Dirty Damn Tricks was our debut album, and then we re-released like a deluxe edition of that, and then we've released a brand new single. It actually came out while we were on the boat.
Yeah, Down to Fight, right?
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one. It's going to be hopefully some wrestler or some
UFC
guys. Yeah.
Team, come on, call
Where
us.
are you guys at now? Are you going to turn that song onto an album? Are you guys working on something right now?
Yeah, we're working on an album, but the way kind of the new music industry works is it benefits you to release songs more often, and you can't really release an album every month or every 2 months. So we're going to kind of be doing single, and then it'll end up in an album at some point, of course. But we're going to, all the next singles we do are going to come together into one album. We already have all that planned out. So up through
That's awesome.
2024. And so we'll be working on that. And we're touring the UK is the big thing. We have a UK tour that kicks off here in just a few weeks. So we'll be in over there from December.
Which leads us to, so it's good that we have another up and coming band.
You read
so
my
we're
mind.
So we're going to ask this question because we talked to Sisters Doll about it. So Shout It Out Loudcast is our main KISS centric podcast, but Zeus and I have another like little side cast where we talk about everything, pop culture, movies, music. And we just recently did an episode where we just discussed streaming versus vinyl and CDs and bands and how it affects them.
And all that
so many thoughts and ideas on all that.
Well, that's why we talked to Sisters Doll about share us, again, up and coming band. You have an album, you have a single, Spotify, physical product. Talk to us about how the experience that you're dealing with those types of things as a band.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter. It's about getting the music to people's ears, getting them into your world. If you hear an LA Maybe song and you like the LA Maybe, you're going to start doing your research. You're going to figure out pretty quickly. We have a website, a Facebook page, because we're everywhere that you would be.
Yeah.
That's by design. So if you find us on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, wherever, we're there, and that hopefully brings you into the world. And, you can buy CDs, shirts, whatever. We have all that available for you, vinyls, you name it.
Yep.
But as far as like, oh man, CDs, just like nobody buys them anymore. It's like, no shit. Like nobody buys fucking 8 tracks either. Like it's just like shit evolves.
Oh, come on, man. CDs still rule. Come on.
Yeah, no, I have a few actually, but not that many. That's a pretty dope collection.
Yeah, that's my college collection. You can tell it's got college CDs in there because I have the 2 lines in there we would have in our room so nobody would fucking steal them.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so we had this conversation about it, and a lot of the stuff that we were wondering is like a new band. Like to me, I'm thinking out loud, I'd be like, if I had my choice, like Spotify, I fail, doesn't pay the artists enough money, and it's you got to play the game because you're not going to get out there if you don't. Yeah. If you don't play it. But I think it's
that
not really fair to you guys.
You would be surprised to see the actual numbers because I think it's it's just kind of in the zeitgeist now, like hating Justin Bieber and Nickelback, right? People just hate Justin Bieber and Nickelback. They don't know why. They couldn't tell you why. It's because everyone else has said it, right?
It's a fucking schmuck.
Dallas, I said the same thing we talked about. I said, I think people just automatically assume that artists are just getting ripped off by Spotify. I mean, we don't know the numbers, but you're right. I think it's become like an urban legend now.
Well, it's because I listen to artists that go in front of Congress and debate this shit and saying, we're fucking getting ripped off. More of the pie from Spotify listens, more of the pie should go to artists.
It could be more. You're 100% right there because it does sound small, a fraction of a penny per play.
Yeah.
What people fail to consider is that when I was in 10th grade, I went to Best Buy and I bought the Black Crowes' first album, and I played that album until it stopped working.
Yep.
And they only made $3-4 off me. If I had streamed that album on Spotify as much as I played that CD, they would have made thousands.
Yep.
So it's it's because you can get paid. It pays you more to have a hit, basically, right? So if I have a song that I'm going to put on repeat, then you're going to make good money. If you're putting out average music, then no, of course not. But most people are putting out their bedroom demos and things like that, because now you hear these stats of 100,000 tracks go on Spotify every day, and it's like, yeah, but 5 of them are good. So I'm not worried.
Right.
I'm not worried. The numbers aren't as bad as you think, but.
Yeah,
but I hear this thing that's like, 1 million streams, you make $5. It's like,
that's
no,
me. I say that
1 million streams, you make about $30,000.
Yeah.
So now 1 million streams is not an easy number to hit, but the numbers that you see on the memes when you're scrolling through Instagram just aren't true. It's like, it's not even hard. Just go look up the figure and do the math, and okay, there you go.
I think you're right, because I think what Zeus is saying is when you hear some of these people speak before Congress, and then people either aren't interested or just don't have the time to look into, because again, research, a lot of information, and you're right. It gets into that mindset that, Zeus is right, should be a bigger piece of the pie, but I don't think, and you just spoke on the facts, Dallas, that they're not getting peanuts. Maybe they could get more, but they're not getting peanuts.
It depends. Yeah. And I don't know who exactly spoke in Congress. I do remember seeing some stuff about that. Yeah. But another thing I've noticed, the more I get in the industry and around more people who have seen a whole lot more success than I have, is that the people you see that you think are successful, right? they definitely don't have all the answers, man. Like they have a lot of them have no fucking idea how they got there. Like they're just like, my manager, I don't know. Like you could ask them like what time their show is and they couldn't tell you. Like, so it's like, they definitely don't know the ins and outs of like putting their music on Spotify. Like, they definitely have never logged into that portal. They have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah. But you know, of course, some of them do. Some of them really are in the weeds and understand it. And that's what we're trying to be, because we're completely independent right now. So it's up to us to be in there and understand this stuff and get nitty gritty and figure out, you know, okay, what's really going on? How can we play the game? Yeah. We don't have, you know, Doc McGee and stuff to call up favors.
And you don't get a chance to get a record label behind you that'll help you out and put some money towards you guys and let you learn your craft, because that shit is gone. And that's part of the thing that I bitch about is I prefer the older system, but it's gone. What are you going to do? So you got to play, you got to get your music out there. So I understand that. We could fucking debate this shit all day long. I know.
They used to be much more willing to gamble. Like, oh, you've got it, kid. You know, we'll put $1 million into you and make you a star like that. That doesn't exist anymore. But the labels are still around. They just want you to be like, okay, you know, I already have 1 million Spotify followers. I'm already making 5 figures.
What do I fucking need you?
And then they'll sign you. And it's like, well, I don't need you now. Like
exactly. I'll just sell my own record and you know, do it myself and make more money.
Now basically you're coming around trying to stick your hand in the pot. It's like, no, hold on.
But Zeus and I, we're both huge supporters of physical product. Obviously, you can see behind Zeus his CD rack. I'm a big vinyl guy. And I love to support up and coming bands. You know, we had Plush on. I bought their vinyl. Sisters Doll. We talked about the struggle for up and coming bands to press vinyl because it's so goddamn expensive to do that, to manufacture them and then sell them back. Yeah, you know, Sisters Doll was saying that if they wanted to go out and manufacture 200 records, it could cost them upwards of $7,000 or $8,000, and they have to go sell that to try to make it. Now they're in Australia. Maybe the numbers are different. But yeah, I mean, we have a friend who's in a band also, and we brought up vinyl. He's like, dude, it costs so much goddamn money to press vinyl and make money off of it. You know,
we sell our vinyls on our website for $60, which I would say,
see.
If you're a vinyl collector, I would look at that and say that's a pretty expensive vinyl, right?
That's very expensive.
What are they usually, $25-$30?
It depends. Yeah, 30, but for an up and coming band, I would probably say in the 30 range. 60, that's a lot. That's a lot.
So here's how this works. We had someone in Germany buy it. We profited 22 cents.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
See, that's where my heart goes out to you. Yeah, but that's why
the US buys it, we profit maybe $4 or $5. But in overseas, when I see an order come in from overseas for a vinyl, I'm like, oh fuck, like we've lost money on some of those. That's why I kept having to jack it up, because I was like, we gotta just keep going until it's at least not negative. Like,
but the flip side of this argument, and we talked about this, is, I mean, I know we're talking about the money, which obviously that's a big deal. This is your career, but I also look at it as like thinking of a consumer about how with streaming, it just spreads the word so much faster and so much easier, you know, that especially like Spotify, where it recommends music based on what you're listening to. So maybe it's going to say, hey, because you liked this band, you might like the LA Maybe, or if I already have the LA Maybe on there, it'll let me know when you have a new single or it's an easier way to get that new music right, like immediately, instead of the old fashioned of like, you know, tape trading and that kind of bullshit.
And then, of course, it becomes the question of, okay, how do I get Spotify to recommend me to you?
Exactly.
Else, right?
Right.
And those are all things you can learn and you can figure out how to do, which is why we're releasing more singles more consistently, right? So Spotify and any social media platform, it really benefits you when you use it frequently. They want you to be on their platform, right?
Yeah.
So Spotify will recommend you more when you have an upload every 6 to 8 weeks or ish, right?
Okay.
So you can't really do a 10-song album every 6 to 8 weeks. So you have to kind of figure out, okay, are we going to do a cover? Are we going to do a single? Because we got to keep putting stuff out to stay in the machine. And so that's kind of the game we're playing, where you see some old school fans, and I'm one of them that's like, oh, you know, I'll listen when you put out an album. I'm tired of seeing all these singles. It's like, yeah, I get it, but this is the game we got to play now. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
listen. You can't just put out music every 2 years and you just disappear completely from the album.
You got to play the game. You got to keep up with the times. And as much as we all like to say, like, I wish it was back in the early 90s when I could go to Tower Records and thumb through and pick up the actual CD, look at the back and that shit's gone. I get it. So you got to get with the times, and you got to do what you can. Well, you got to back it up too. So no matter what you do, you're going on Spotify, you got to have good music.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
That's what you guys got in your back pocket.
Yeah.
So you have that.
I would say though, as far as, it being gone, that's such a good point. I think nothing's ever really gone. It just kind of moves, right? So going to Tower Records and looking at the back of the album, that same feeling you got is now what people get when they go to Instagram and scroll through and see me being like, hey, what's up? We're at fucking blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
The same kind of like, oh, this is the band. This is like my peek into their world. Yep. It's just changed now, but those same things and those same feelings are just human. So they're always going to be there, even though the look of that.
You're right. That is something.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk music shit with Dallas all night.
I know. It's a great point.
But, like I said, you got to have the music. So as much as the marketing you're doing and how do we do this? How do you do this? It doesn't mean shit if you're putting out shit music. Well, from what I heard, and I'm sure what Tom will agree with me, you guys put out some excellent music. And you guys are fun. You're a fun band to watch. You guys can hit it live, which is the key, because nowadays live entertainment is what people now are craving. And so you artists can make a lot of money from is more the live stuff than how many vinyls did I sell this week, right?
Yeah, 40 cents worth.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys hit it out of the park. You guys, hopefully, if you guys are interested, will make it back to another KISS Cruise. Is that a possibility?
It's not a possibility. Yeah, we just straight up walked up to Sixth Man at the end, was like, yo, if you want us back, we're there.
Yeah, perfect.
So they were like, don't worry, we'll have you back. Like,
nice.
Perfect. That's great.
So Dallas, tell everybody, our listeners, where can they find you? Obviously, you're very active on social media, your website, your social media. Tell all of our listeners how they can get more of the LA Maybe.
Yeah, sure. The hub is our website. So that's lamaybe.com. And that will take you, that's kind of the center of the spider web. You can go out wherever you want from there. But whatever social media platform you're on, just look up our name and you'll find us, and we're probably there.
Perfect.
We have new music video just came out. We have all sorts of content we put out on our YouTube page. We have a podcast we put out every week, like you guys.
Nice.
And so we have, all kinds of stuff going on in our world. So that's kind of where to keep up with us, lamaybe.com.
Perfect. He's Dallas Dwight, lead guitarist, songwriter for the LA Maybe. They kicked major ass on the KISS Cruise. If you're not familiar with him, you just heard him. Check him out. Visit his website. Buy some physical product.
Yes.
Not vinyl.
Go to Spotify. Buy a vinyl. Unless you're listening to us in Germany, don't do that.
Yeah.
But Dallas, thank you so much for your time. This has been a great conversation about music in general and the cruise and your band.
Yeah. Tom Zeus, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Thanks, Dallas.
Pretty amazing time there, getting all four of those bands to talk about cruise, KISS, music, everything. Great fun. We can't thank them enough. It was amazing. We're talking to young bands like Sisters Doll and even younger bands like Plush, veteran musicians like Black Sabbitch, LA Maybe, up and coming. Just great stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So once you got the logistics done, then you're on the, let's see, our winning streak has continued. We have yet to have a guest on that were like, dude, this guy fucking sucked. We always keep our expectations in check and then love it when they get blown away.
Absolutely.
So every one of them, never mind the fact that they were so accommodating and professional about it. But once you got them on, again, we were going with the thought of let's get 15, 20 minutes or half an hour at most from each one of them. But the conversation's flowing. You don't want to cut it off. And each time I'm like, fuck it. If it's long, too bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Let's start with Black Sabbitch.
Incredible. First off, they were awesome. They're big KISS fans. But listen to Angie tell those stories about being in the rehearsal studio back during the reunion era. Just crazy stuff. And then hearing their story about why they chose to be a Black Sabbath tribute band, and just getting in the heads of a band and musicians and KISS fans. Just tons of fun. And Angie's just got boatloads of stories.
And Emily is like the hugest KISS fan. And Alice and Melanie, super cool, obviously newer to the KISS experience. But loved hearing how this all-girl group Black Sabbath band got together and the stories I'm telling you right now, Angie will be back. She's got a shit ton
incredible
of
stories.
Stories, fucking hilarious. I love when people, through no probing of our own, just start doing Ace impressions. Hey guys, yeah, can you tell Gino and Paulie?
Gino and Paulie. Oh, it was great.
Yeah, and again, stay tuned towards the end of this episode.
Yep.
Okay, you'll see why. They're awesome, and they kicked ass on stage, and we loved it. And you got to see that poster. That Angie
my
has.
God, she had the OG a coin destroyer poster signed by all 4 original members. So cool,
fucking great. All right, let's turn our attention now to the ladies of Plush.
That's right. Yeah, we had 3 of the 4. We had Bella, Ashley, and Faith. And unfortunately, Mariah was not available because she is touring with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's pretty amazing for her. But what a time with them. I mean, you got Faith just out of high school. She's 18. You got Ashley at 19. You got Bella at 20. And these girls they just rock. They kick ass. They were so accommodating. We had so much fun, so friendly. They're huge KISS fans. I mean, it's amazing to hear the passion that they have for albums like Revenge and Dynasty and the stories that they had about seeing them live. And then just their story about a rising band and being on the cruise. Just tons of fun.
The way they present themselves at that age.
Amazing.
Oh, my God. Super kind and sweet and just humble. But don't let that fool you, because their music fucking rocks, and what a show they put on.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like, all throughout everything, we kept hearing about people talking about Plush. And the ladies were super funny. You missed them at the bacon bingo thing that we did.
Oh yeah,
the rapport they had with the guy doing bingo, it was funny. You could tell they had a great way of carrying themselves, had a good sense of humor, and another awesome band that just can't wait to see what comes of their career, because they're only going to get bigger and better.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then these guys were setting this up and telling, like, okay, all right, Zeus, we're flying back from we'll be in Australia at this time, and we can get back and we'll be on with you at this. They just flew back to Australia. Not an easy flight, my friends. And Brennan set it up, and next thing you know, the 3 brothers are on. Super gracious, super cool, and really had all the ladies. I mean, I was kind of saying that to them, but it's no joke. All the ladies on the cruise were like, "Where's the Sister Dolls brothers?"
Yeah, Brennan, Bryce, and Austin Sisters Doll. Those guys were great. Again, huge KISS fans. I mean, you guys, if you were at Creatures Fest, you saw them, you heard them. That's where the buzz really started to build for the Americans hearing about them. And then that buzz just carried all the way through when people found out that they were announced to be on the cruise. Great stuff, great stories. Another bunch of young guys rising. They're really excited about the reception that they're getting in the States. They want to try to come back here and do more. Obviously being in Australia, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but we know they're working towards that, and huge things for them too. 3 great guys. A ton of fun talking to them about their band, their experiences with KISS. Just great fun.
Yeah, they're really going to take off. And, they came on our radar with the whole Peter thing, and their conversation about Peter just really, for me, I loved hearing it.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
How their relationship with Peter, how they were the last band to perform with Peter at his last shows, and how he was instrumental in them getting Creatures Fest and all that stuff, and their love of KISS. Man, we got to see them again perform live. They fucking kick ass.
They're so fun.
So this is the part that I like, because now it's like, remember when you were a kid, you would buy baseball cards and like, oh, I got his rookie card.
Yeah.
He hasn't become a star yet, but he will, and my card will go up in value.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of these bands are like. You're like, oh, I learned from Sisters Doll when they just starting out before they got that big fucking song that hit the radio. Same thing.
Yep.
Fucking great guys. And can't wait to see what's in store for them.
Yep.
Finally, L.A. Maybe. And we had Dallas on.
That's right. Yep. We had Dallas Dwight, guitarist and songwriter from L.A. Maybe. He represented the band. We talked to him, and it was I kind of enjoyed talking to him about KISS because he's not a diehard. KISS wasn't his thing. So hearing that perspective was interesting and different because very rarely, if ever, do we have guests on the show that aren't KISS fans. But it was interesting to hear that. And then of course we started talking about the band, the origin of the band name, and then a great conversation. And we did talk about this with Sisters Doll too.
Yeah.
A great conversation about the state of music, like we talked about on our Dome Damage sidecast, the streaming, the vinyl, the CD, all that stuff. Just really gracious and a great conversation. That conversation kept going even when we finished recording.
Dude, that was with just him. Imagine if the rest of the band was on.
Exactly.
Be a 6-hour episode.
Yep.
A lot of info from Dallas. He's obviously got a lot to say. His band kicked ass. The thing about his band was like I had no expectations of them. Nothing about them.
Yeah.
So Black Sabbitch, you hear an all-girls band, Black Sabbath. So regardless, you're gonna be like, I'm sure they're pretty good if they're doing Black Sabbath. Plush had already kind of had a little bit of buzz going.
Yep.
This is all we were familiar with.
Yep.
L.A. Maybe I was just literally walk down the steps and be like, oh, what are we watching here? Like, holy shit. These fucking guys, maybe banging their heads up on the ceiling because it's above 5.5 feet tall, but they fucking rock the joint out.
Yeah.
Kick ass. They're a new and upcoming band. They got one album out. Fascinating discussion about how a young band is trying to up and come like Sisters Doll is and get their names out there. Same thing with Plush.
Yep.
Right. And, you got Black Sabbitch talking about their touring things. And each one of them has got a fascinating way to talk about music, where they are now, how it works, and a little bit of history along the way. And I got to say, I did like his story.
Oh, man.
Member ways.
Doing like the Heisman to the drummer. Oh.
Not now.
Oh man. There was a couple other things we got too out of Dallas, but I'm not quite sure they made it onto the episode, but great stuff.
Same thing with Angie too.
Yep.
Oh man. These like Ace stories and Paul stories and Gino stories and all this stuff. Fantastic. Listen, we don't want to keep this episode too long. Obviously,
too late.
Obviously, you can tell how much fun we had with these bands and how informative and entertaining it was. I hope it was for you guys. I think it will be. And can't personally wait to find out when Black Sabbitch is in the Boston area or the new album from Sisters Doll or L.A. Maybe or where's Plush going to next.
Yep.
Can't fucking wait. Telling you guys. You will not be sorry. Go out, go to their websites, buy them their music, buy their merch, see them perform live, support them, go on their websites, go on their social medias, like them, follow them, communicate with them. They love that stuff. And that was one of the great conversation pieces we had. Because of the internet stuff, now you may not be able to peruse like the background of these albums at a record store, but now you can see the guy Instagram tell you a story about why he wrote that song.
Yep.
There's a lot of good stuff out there. Check these bands out.
Yep. And I find it kind of ironic that of all the places that you would get news or the energy behind new bands, it's us. We always talk about KISS and bands from the 80s. Well, now we got exposed to these bands. We love them, and we want you guys to know more about them. So we can't give enough thanks to Black Sabbitch, Plush, Sisters Doll, and Dallas from the L.A. Maybe, and thanks to that band, the whole band themselves. Just an amazing time. We hope you guys had as much fun listening as we did talking with all of them.
Tom, what do we do next?
We go to our question of the week. And our question of the week comes from fellow Patreon and previously mentioned podcaster himself, Adam Stevenson. He says, sorry, Tom, for the trigger warning, because he's talking about Monster, the album. I'm listening to KISS on Letterman for shits and giggles, and I had a thought. KISS has stated that Sonic Boom and Monster were meant to be records that got back to the classic 70s sound. So I'm curious as to what tracks you think from those albums could have actually fit into that classic era from the debut up to Love Gun. Any songs on the top of your head, Zeus, that you think could have that sound that could be thrown on to Dress to Kill or Rock and Roll Over a Love Gun or whatever? I can think of maybe one or two.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay. Modern day Delilah is probably a little too heavy for 70s KISS. A song like Hella Hallelujah could probably go on to Love Gun because it kind of had that kick-ass vibe of like I Stole Your Love. I think it could probably do that. Take Me Down Below is a fun song, but I don't think the band was really
That's
that
an
silly.
80s KISS song.
That's what I was going to say. They weren't that silly in the 70s. Silly, I tell you. Honestly, I know it's a Tommy song, but I think When Lightning Strikes.
That's where my thumb is on right now.
There you go. Zeus and I, we share a brain. I think that could have been an awesome
because he's copying me.
He's trying to be the spaceman and talking about lightning bolts.
That makes
Go
sense.
ahead. Go ahead.
Look at the rest of these songs on, like specifically Monster.
Yeah.
None of them work. None
At
of them
all.
work at that stage in like 70s KISS. They don't
No.
sound anything like it. They
No.
sound like somewhere between, I don't know, Animalize and Psycho Circus.
Which is not a compliment.
But
although
good question,
I should take that back because we love those albums. I mean, we might not love Psycho Circus, but I do think it's funny how Zeus and I, we don't, when I pick these questions, we don't talk about them. I drop them on Zeus.
I have no idea.
Right. So for us to both kind of agree on When Lightning Strikes, that would have been a great Ace song.
Yeah.
Or a good Tommy song.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know.
always copying me, and I'm the real spaceman. Good question, Adam, and go listen to the Metal Oasis podcast. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Great question.
Tom, where can people find us?
People can find us when we're not recording 7-hour podcast episodes. They can find us on our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com, shoutitoutloudcast.com. You can go there and find all of our episodes for our Shout It Out Loudcast, our album review crew, our Dorm Damage, our Zeppelin Chronicles. You can find all the reviews. Everything is there. Our rankings, everything is there. You can comment directly and message us directly from the website. You can click on our Patreon link, on our merch link, on our Amazon shopping link. All kinds of stuff is there. That's the best place to go. And then, of course, we always talk about our email address, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, and our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. They're all there. Maybe we'll do Snapchat or whatever the kids are doing. Who knows?
Yeah, or maybe Twitch is next.
Ooh, maybe Twitch stream. There you go. And as we mentioned many times in the show, our wonderful Patreon family, including our friend, the amazing and awesome Tracy. Thank you for being our newest member. And we're always proud to say that we are part of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows. Tons of great music podcasts. We're proud to be part of them. Check them out, pantheonpodcast.com. You can find us and tons of other great music podcasts.
Yeah, Jay from the Hook Rocks is over there. You got one of your favorite, Martin Popoff. Plenty of good podcasts out there to give a listen to.
Great stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Tom, I always tell people they can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We get them constantly. We try to get back to everybody as best we can, but it's a good problem to have. People can subscribe and follow and like our YouTube channel. Again, we're getting those numbers up. We appreciate it. Our YouTube subscribers and comments are always now almost rivaling our social media posts. So thank you for that. And that's actually one other thing I wanted to mention. Like when you post on our episodes and comment on our social media posts, it's awesome. We love it. But when you post on an episode from our website, it stays there. So it's a running dialogue. So 3 years from now, somebody wants to go in there and shit on our review of Monster, the album. Go ahead. It's there. And then 2 years after that, you can comment on it. So that's just something that we always wanted to put out there. And check out everything on our website. As Tom says, everything is there. Go check out the Shout It Out Loudcast merch page because the holidays are coming. And who wouldn't look good in a Shout It Out Loudcast t-shirt, Tom?
Of course. And who wouldn't want to take a little nap after eating your Thanksgiving dinner on a Shout It Out Loudcast pillow?
Oh,
right? Ooh, lay down.
Damn.
Or who wouldn't want to cuddle up with their significant other? Hey, baby, settle up here on the couch with my Shout It Out Loudcast pillow.
My Shout Out Loudcast perfume.
You know what else they got? And I could vouch for it. They got socks. They're great.
Cuddle up with me in my perfume, the Shout It Out Loudcast perfume, made up of puke, piss, and desperation.
It's called the buffet bathroom.
The bathroom smells like orange citrus and shit mixed together.
Jeez, I feel bad. These bands are probably going to have their friends and family listening. Hey, we were on this podcast. We did an interview. Great. Don't listen to the end of the show, though.
What does citrus shit mean? What is a piss cup?
These guys are talking about orange juice in the bathroom and on Paul's pasta. What the heck's going on?
Yeah. Please give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Podchaser, wherever you can give a 5-star child review for us. Please do so. That's step number 2 on how to help the show. Besides Patreon, step number 3 is our Amazon store on our website. And that's greatly appreciated. We got a 5-star review here from Dave Dynasty, Tom, on Apple Podcast.
All right. Go for it.
Thanks, fellas. That's what it's called. Great show. Love your passion and honesty about KISS. Always look forward to a new episode, and you always make me laugh. I'll tell you, other podcasts may be more informative, get bigger guests, do all this other shit. Nobody can talk about KISS and make you guys laugh like we do. And I'll put that up against.
I will challenge you, people.
Hands up, gloves off. He challenged the Chiefs.
Challenge the Chiefs.
Call his names.
Guys, they're really funny. Believe me. I laugh too all the time.
Oh, shit. Are they making fun of me?
I laugh so hard sometimes I puke up on my socks. It's crazy.
That's actually a kid. That's step 4 on the rock and roll fantasy camp.
Don't forget about the new sitcom coming this fall, Uncle Ace.
Oh, Ace? We call him Uncle Ace. Hey, kids, who wants to drive me to the liquor store? I need to get a packy going.
Poor Ashley. She's such a sweetheart. And she was telling us about her story.
Horrified.
She's like, oh yeah, we call him Uncle Ace. Instantly, me and Zeus like, that's a new character on the show. Hey kids, happy holidays. Uncle Ace has a couple presents. Hey, Uncle Ace, this is a half-empty bottle of bourbon. Oh, jeez, give me that. I didn't mean to give that to you as a present.
I had some sponge cake for you guys, but I ate it because I was stuck in the car. I locked myself in. I couldn't get out. So I had to have something to eat.
Next week on Uncle Ace, he tries to go through the drive-thru alone.
Uncle Ace goes to the school conference parent meeting. How the kids doing in geography? Hey, kids, can I jump in this dodgeball game?
Watch out for my nose. I don't want it to get any bigger. Don't hit me.
Oh, fuck.
Uncle Ace, I need a ride to practice. Hold on a second. Hop on the back of my Schwinn. I lost my license again.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next Uncle Ace. Hey, kids, call the attorney. I think I'm getting cuffed.
Poor Ashley. She was such a sweetheart sharing that story. Now we're ruining the image of Uncle Ace. Oh, God.
Fucking Uncle Ace.
God almighty.
Anyways.
Too much.
Yeah. So thank you for that wonderful review. If you want to give us a 5-star review, we love them. We appreciate them. And they're a big help to the show. Please go to the website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. shoutitoutloudcast.com. And then you could always email us. Email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. We love the feedback. We love the fact that you guys are so involved. Do us a favor, though, as we said earlier, support these bands. Go to their websites. Go to their social medias. Get involved. You guys will not be sorry. They all kick ass.
Yep. Go to their websites, follow them on social media. If they are selling physical product, buy it. If they're on streaming, support them on streaming. Give them some plays. Support them. They kick ass. They're all great people, which makes it easier to enjoy their music, is that you're supporting bands that are full of good people, hardworking artists, nice people, good people, solid kick-ass rock and roll.
Yeah. And Tom, what we do is we always like to end with famous last words. Do you have any?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Hold on if you're coming. Let go if you're staying behind. I feel the need. The sky's humming. I'll take the lead. And it's my turn to shine.
Get up. Lights. Camera. Action. It's getting time for the show. Tonight, you're the main attraction. And if you want a lover who can play the other role, I'm gonna, boom, boom, boom.
Nice. Sisters Doll did a kick-ass version of that.
That's hence the lyrics.
Exactly.
All right. Black Sabbitch, Plush, Sisters Doll, L.A. Maybe, Kiss Army, Loudcasters, most of all, Tom, thank you.
What a fun week this has been. We can't thank you guys enough. An unbelievable shout out to all the bands. Black Sabbitch, Plush, Sisters Doll, L.A. Maybe. Incredible. We hope you guys enjoyed this mega episode. Hopefully you stood with us through the end here. Enjoy it. Check out these bands. Please. Thank you guys, as always, for the amazing support. Zeus, my friend, as always, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Here's my favorite Ace story. Well, there's two. One, a woman walked into the studio and she saw him standing there and she goes, "Oh, hey, I know you. You're Ace Frehley." And he goes, "Oh, yeah? Did I fuck you?" He said. And then he would also call the studio and leave messages on the answering machine, like that he was going to be late and stuff, and I would call my friends and leave them on their machines, and then people would use it as like their outgoing message.
No,
you don't have any of those, do you?
It's Ace Frehley. Will you tell Gino and Paulie I'm going to be a little late? Like Gino, he'd say Gino and Paulie. And my favorite one was him pulling me aside and saying, I won't use all the language he used, but he was like, "These fucking guys want me to come in here and rehearse on Easter fucking Sunday." And he had some choice words about the difference in their religious beliefs.
I know where you're going. I'm sure. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
God, wow.
Yeah.